Prologue. The villain's debut. A peaceful day. Everyone was busy, working, living, doing their own thing. And me? I was standing alone on a rooftop, spying on someone's house through a pair of binoculars. Shit, talking to myself at this height makes me crave a cigarette. Too bad I quit when I landed in this world. Maybe I should start again. No, focus. You've come this far. Don't relapse. Black hair, black robe, black cape. A man completely dressed in black, face half covered by a gray mask. That's me. Honestly, I look like some edgy teenager going through his villain phase. If I wore this in the real world and took the subway, I'd probably end up trending online. Strange cosplayers spotted online 3. But here, this outfit fits right in. Because this isn't Earth anymore. This is the world of Stardust, a superhero comic I was reading just before I somehow woke up inside it. Other than a small telekinesis ability and short-range teleportation, I don't know much. Still, I should be grateful. It's better than being an ordinary background extra. But that's it. Telekinesis and teleportation? That's barely mid-tier stuff. No wonder I was disappointed during the ability test. Sure, some people might say, 2 powers? That's awesome. But have you read the second half of the comic? Every major character gets busted powers. Meanwhile, I'm stuck here with this discount psychic starter kit. Still, complaining won't help. I know what I have to do. Kill the villains. The current S-Class ones, and the ones destined to become S-Class. If I stop them early, the main hero's future won't go off the rails. It's insane, I know. A loser like me going around assassinating A-Class villains? But unlike them, I've read the script. I know the future, and I know my next target. I glance again at the house below. Time to move. Scene 1. The first kill. A quiet, sunlit home. A man tearing bread apart with a scowl. And me, already behind him. He notices too late. Goodbye, Rhino. He chokes, face turning purple. Then boom. The explosion paints the walls red. Disgusting. Even if it's not my first time, the sight still makes my stomach twist. But this guy deserved it. A-Class villain Rhino. The psycho who kills people by headbutting them. If I hadn't stopped him now, he would have evolved into an S-Class and turned half the city into paste. I killed him the only way I could, teleport behind, attack fast, leave no trace. Because my telekinesis can only fire once before recharging. Farewell, Rhino. I actually like you in the comic. But in reality, you were a walking massacre waiting to happen. I rummage through his closet and find his signature Rhino mask. Perfect. I place it neatly beside his corpse. A calling card. And as I leave, I decide to make it a little more dramatic. A message, written in his blood. Death to a worse man than me. Death to someone weaker than me. To you, Stardust. Yeah, that should grab their attention. Scene 2. Hero Association HQ. At the crime scene, A-Class hero Shin Haru. Hero name, Stardust, stares silently at the carnage. So, this is Rhino? Yes, says the pale officer beside her. By the time we arrived, the killer was gone. Same pattern as the previous murder. And, you might want to see this. He points to the bloody message on the wall. To you, Stardust. Shin Haru's expression hardens. What a lunatic. Villains shouldn't die like this. They should be judged, not slaughtered. Whoever this new killer is, he's crossed the line. And if he's trying to provoke her, it's working. With clenched fists, Stardust turns and leaves. If this killer thinks he can play God, she'll be the one to stop him. Scene 3. Antihero on the couch. Later that night, the news blares from the TV. Today at 7 p.m., A-Class villain Rhino was found dead in his home. Lying on the couch, controller in hand, I glance up at the screen. Oh, they're talking about me again. The Hero Association has classified the killer as an A-Class villain. His powers appear to be telekinesis. Me, a villain? That's rich. Scrolling through online comments, I can't help but grin. Honestly, if he kills villains, isn't he more of a hero? I support him. Villains in jail, just escape anyway. Team Vigilante for life. Huh. The internet seems to like me. Apparently, I'm some kind of antihero now. But that's bad. If people side with me, Stardust, the real hero, will get backlash. I can't let that happen. Everything I'm doing is for her. To make her stronger, safer, better. even if she never knows it. So there's only one way forward. My official villain debut. A real villain. A legend that will make this world remember my name. Scene 4. The broadcast. Inside the Hero Association office. Miss Stardust. Turn on the TV. Shinharu looks up, startled. What is it? That villain. He's hijacked the city's broadcast. The screen flickers to life. A man in black stands before a shadowed backdrop. A gray half-mask conceals his face. He looks straight into the camera. Good evening, citizens of the city. The mysterious villain finally makes his debut. Are there waves on the river too? I don't know. It's a remote stretch. Waves don't feel right here. Still, today the river looked like it could bite. It was a good day on paper. Bright sun, birds singing, flowers waking up. You would call it peaceful if you ignored the 2 cruise ships anchored in the bend. 2 pleasure ships, full of people who came for sightseeing and cocktails. Something terrible was about to happen. The villain's voice filled the national broadcast. He had just become the first criminal to hijack terrestrial TV. Right now, there are bombs on both ships. Boom. Everyone on them will die without saying goodbye to their families. He smiled into the camera behind his gray half-mask. Who am I? Call me Ego's Tick. Ego. Resume. S-Class in Zodiac. A-Class Rhino. Yes, I killed him. Why? Because it is fun. His eyes, only one visible, twinkled. He leaned into the screen and kept talking, a casual menace. No, I'm not a murderer. That would be crude. I want a solution that lets people live. So I'm giving you a choice. I want A-Class Hero Stardust here within 10 minutes. If she does not come, today's going to be another Titanic. Someone in the control room acknowledged the order. Go open the rooftop door now. They moved. Shinharu changed into her suit in a hurry. Red latex, in-ear headset connected. She launched from the building and ripped through the air toward the river. 10 minutes. Given where the villain claimed to be, that was more than enough time. I switched the camera off and pocketed it. The feeds I planted were already broadcasting the panic in both cabins. I wanted to smoke. I had quit when I fell into this world, but my fingers itched for one. Stardust would arrive soon. Just picturing her heroic landing made my chest race. The thought of her cold, accusatory stare made it worse. Why did she have that effect on me? This was not simple terror. It was a prisoner's dilemma dressed up as performance art. I had spent hours preparing, buying devices, hiring actors, scheduling, hijacking a broadcast. I had never been rich in my former life, but I managed. I checked my outfit one more time. Black robe, black pants, black cape, black hair. A gray half-mask, Phantom of the Opera vibes. Perfect. From the rooftop railing, I watched the sky. She cut toward me, blonde hair streaming. Stardust slammed down with a textbook hero landing and folded her arms. She slowed to a stop and glared. Ego's Tick. Remember my name? Good. I held up the detonator and shook it at her. The camera was rolling. I had arranged that. Remove the bombs now, she said. Then I will hit you a few times and arrest you. Of course you will, I said, smiling. She did not smile back. Still, she was gorgeous, even scowling. You heard me on the broadcast, I said. I'm interested in you. A late bloomer from C-Class to A-Class. A woman who will not compromise with evil. You embody something people sing about. I respect you. She cut me off. If you're done talking, tell me what you want. I told her. Open the lower right drawer in the captain's room on both ships. You will find the detonators. Her face tightened. They blow up the other ship, not their own, I added. The rule is simple. 30 minutes. No one can press both detonators. If a button is pressed on one ship, the other ship goes boom. The ones who press first will survive. She listened like someone parsing nonsense. I kept talking. Miss Stardust, you praise human decency. After this, you will see how selfish people can be. I clapped once for emphasis. 30 minutes. Good luck. I cut the feed and switched to the cabin footage projected on the roof wall. The chaos began in earnest. People screamed and pointed. Press the button. Press the button. Exactly as I had planned. I had placed agitators among the crowds. I had primed them to shout and panic. The more they screamed, the more the next person thought pressing the button was the only option. Panic spread like a virus. Stardust watched the wall with an expression that mixed annoyance and concern. I grinned. I was a careful planner. I loved this choreography of panic. Do you think people will move as you intended? She asked. You will see, I said. At the Hero Association Control Center, the president wiped sweat from his bald head as he watched the cabin feeds. Helicopters were on standby, B-class heroes were staged along the river, and the older men in charge murmured into headsets. Yet no one understood why passengers screamed to press a button that would doom another ship. This makes no sense, the president said. If you do not press, you live. So why press? I do not know, sir, someone replied. The cabin chaos on the screen answered for them. People were shouting, press the button, press it now. The dilemma had already begun.
Hey everyone, Firescale Audiobooks here. If there's a novel you'd love to hear more of, you can support us on Patreon or Ko-fi. Depending on your tier, I'll make extra parts just for the stories you're most excited about. Usually I can only upload 4 to 5 parts of each novel, but with your support, we can go beyond that. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. It helps more than you know.
Inside the confused cabins, people were arguing and knocking each other down. What are you doing? Push the button right now. Get out of my way. If you don't press it, I will. Are you all crazy? They haven't pressed it yet either. What's the matter with you? If we're a little late, we'll all die. You have to press it in advance. 2 ships, 2 bombs, 2 buttons. The ship that pressed the button can live unconditionally. However, the moment you do not press the button, you may die. In fact, if you think about it rationally and realistically, there is no reason to press it. If there is a button in front of you, no one will press it unless there is a lunatic who wants to press everything. The situation is not like, well, there are only prisoners on the other ship, so those crazy bastards will press it. But also not both ships will explode if you don't press the bomb. So if you think about it rationally, it is a win if you stay still. There is no need to press it. Then, if you think about it rationally, there is no reason to press it, or can't you just stop them from thinking rationally? So my agitators quickly started incitement and fabrication. I'm telling you, they're going to press it. I know everything. That's right. We have to press it first to survive. Do you have any guarantee that they won't press it? In this world, you either kill or be killed. That is why I put the agitators equally on 2 ships. Even before people can think rationally, they will spread the rumors that if they do not press the button first, they will die. As a result, people with a weak mentality will instantly feel anxious and scared. Rational judgment will be blurred and eventually transformed into collective madness. Let's press it first before they do. Of course, however, it is now likely to lead to a fight between sense and sensibility. The sensibility, which is terrified by the incitement, would tell them to press that button immediately. However, as time goes by, it will be the sense that comes to their mind. Why? Because they will slowly realize over time. The other ship still hasn't pressed the button either. The woman's scream shook the hall. That's right. People started to realize as time went by. The other side has not pressed the button to blow their ship yet. If you think about it, there is no reason for them to press the button. The stage I set up is perfect. First, I contacted the people to get them on the ships, and then cut off the internet. Wi-Fi, LTE, nothing will be working. People who were looking at their phones would think that their phones were dead. And at the same time, I broadcast it live. So this is the show that I already filmed beforehand. There are bombs on your ships now. If they explode, you're all going to die. But there are detonators on the ships. However, the detonator on your ship is not yours, but the detonator of the bomb on the other ship. If you press it, those people on the other side are going to die. But oh my, your detonator is on the other ship. Even if you do not press the button, who knows? The ship next to you might press it, whether to press the button or not. Do as you please. The limit time is 30 minutes. Good luck. And the chaos began. It was like a war. The captains were in torment with the detonators in the captain's cabins, and the passengers bawled out. Yes, this is the scene that I wanted to direct so much. In the other movie which I watched before I fell into this world, the best scene of the movie was the fight between Batman and Joker, choosing between 2 ships at midnight. Although it was between the prisoner's ship and the cruise ship, and the background was at night in the movie. Due to the circumstances of a grown-up, I could not implement it accurately. I mean, there is no such thing as a prisoner's ship in Seoul. Even if this comic is about heroes with superpowers, a prisoner's ship basically does not exist in Seoul, South Korea. I thought that the dramatic tension might have gone down a little bit. Well, there's another way to do that. Phew, it was so hard to prepare for this. Unlike then, people use smartphones in this world nowadays, so I have to block all of them. There are so many other low-level heroes in this small country. I have to keep them from interfering. The life of a villain is not easy either. Anyway, let's see, are they still fighting? Yeah, the first ship is still fighting. I knew it, just as I planned. What about the second one? If you think we should press the button, raise your hand. Oh, people are closing their eyes and putting their hands up. The captain is counting. What is this? It's not even a class president election in elementary school. God, I feel a little dizzy. Even if this is what I intended, it is still a little absurd. Taking my eyes off the beam projector, I looked at Stardust, who was standing far away from me. She was still focused on the screen with her stiff face. Wow, but seriously, she's so pretty. Stardust, the main character of the comic Stardust, the main character in one of few hero comics drawn by Korean authors, and the first commercially successful Korean hero comic. Stardust. Her real name is Shin Haru. Glossy blonde hair that shines like starlight. The red latex suit hugs her whole body. And an insanely pretty visual. Wow, seriously? Maybe because I finally met my favorite character in real life. Seeing her in person like this makes me feel like I could die happily now. Of course, this is not the time to die yet. Yikes, did I stare too much? She began to glare at me. Do you think you're going to get away after all of this? Her voice is also pretty. Ahem. Time for me to bury those thoughts down and concentrate on my job again. I said cheerfully, "Geez, your words made me sad. Honestly, did I tell people to press the button and die? What did I do exactly? I only threw them the detonators, and they're making a fuss to press it on their own." After saying that, I grinned at her. Honestly, since I manipulated the situation by putting people in there, I feel guilty. But it doesn't matter as long as they're not caught. That's right. Stardust still has that annoyed expression on her face. I continued talking to her. Honestly, I'm personally very interested in you, Miss Stardust. From what I see, you're such an exemplary hero. All of a sudden, she looked back at me as if she was not sure what I was talking about. Should I say something else to her? In an interview from the past, you said all humans have the courage to sacrifice themselves and their hearts. That's a great saying. I had to stand up and clap as soon as I heard your words. Now, let's laugh one more time here. 1 second, 2 seconds, smile, and then speak up again. Tap, flick my finger. As I flicked my finger, the pre-installed lights behind began to shine on her. As she frowned at the sudden light, I continued the talk. So this time, I will give you one chance. Can you change those selfish people, Stardust? As soon as I said that, the camera turned on again. The show might have switched to this place again, not the situation of the cruise ships anymore. This will be broadcast to everyone, including people across the country and passengers on the ships. Yes, 20 minutes have passed. 10 minutes to go. Our hero Stardust has something to say. Please listen. Attention, passengers. As soon as I finished, the camera started to turn towards her. Stardust looked a little taken aback by the sudden situation. But, as expected from a professional hero, she quickly figured out what was going on and began to look straight at the camera. And she spoke up. Hello, everyone. This is the A-class hero, Stardust. Then all of a sudden, she began to make a speech. Everyone, what do you think of the person next to you? Even in such a sudden situation, she talked naturally without shaking her voice. So briefly, what she said was that the person next to them was also a loving family to someone. That you should trust other people. Blessed are those who believe. She told them not to worry. Well, something like that. A 3 or 4 minute short speech. After her speech, which was so appealing to the end, I turned off the camera. And looking at the situation in the room, some people stood up and clapped their hands in tears. The captains shouted hooray and threw the detonators into the sea without hesitation. They were suddenly all singing and praising humanity together, and then 30 minutes had passed. The surviving passengers cried in joy and congratulated each other. That is what I intended, but somehow it was a little too dramatic. It was like an 80s movie about patriotism. Anyway, Stardust seems relieved that everyone survived. This will be uploaded on YouTube tomorrow. Japan was surprised, Europe was shocked, and the US envied K-Hiro. The passengers were united in tears by her words. Just like this. All right, it's time to start acting again. I naturally turned the camera to us. Okay, go. With a shocked look, I looked at the wall where the video was reflected and twisted my body slightly. What? This cannot be happening. Those selfish human beings. I murmured as if I were very bewildered, with a little louder voice, so that the camera can catch it well. No way. Oh wait, there is no way this cannot happen. Some of the passengers and the captains are the ones I hired. What if they press the detonator, even though I already put the... This can't be happening. A cold wind blew on the rooftop. I was standing there, laughing like I was out of my mind. Human beings are not such selfless creatures, you know. I thought they were going to press the button, but how? How come I didn't press it? I started talking to myself like a madman. Looking in the sky, my hands floundered in the air. And at the same time, I stopped my hands and stared at Stardust, standing in front of me. Oh, my short words. Looking at Stardust, I said, "It was because of you." Of course, it was not because of Stardust. I ordered the captains to throw the detonators into the ocean right after her hero's speech. But it is a secret between the captains and me. In front of the cameras that are broadcasting live all over the country, I pretended to know nothing, as if this terrorism failed thanks to Stardust's speech. I moved my lips. Everyone suddenly became united after your speech. And I laughed like a madman. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Gosh, this is so embarrassing. I held back my shame and kept laughing like a madman. Stardust stared at me as if she was seeing a maniac. Ugh, do you know how a fan feels when his favorite character looks at him with a scornful face? I laughed for a while. The reason why she did not come at me while I was busy laughing was I had the detonators in my hand. She could not relax until the ships came to the harbor, and everyone got off. I opened up again after laughing for a while. Okay, all right. I guess I underestimated you. It was something that no one else could do. You wouldn't just enlighten the public with a single word, right? We have a problem. I'm starting to have no idea what I'm talking about. Who was I in my previous life? I was an ordinary Korean man. I mean, in front of a monster who can kill me in 5 seconds with just a single touch. I am not used to talking fluently when the whole nation is watching me. Until now, I said what I prepared, but I'm starting to lose my mind now. The wind is so cold, and I'm freezing. I should have worn a heat tech underneath the robe. Wait, why am I worrying about this now? I'm fucked up. I am slowly losing my mind. I should get ready now. Ready for what? Ready to escape. Ahem. My bad. Stardust, I guess I underestimated you. I'm not going to go easy on you next time. Well then, I'll see you guys next time. Looking at the camera, I grinned one more time, then disappeared with the camera. That means I teleported with my cape turning forward. There will be a lot of cops around here, so I should teleport far away to somewhere near my place. Gosh, it takes me a lot of energy to teleport there. I'm going to lie down for the next 3 days. Man, life is not easy. You punk. As she noticed that I was about to escape, she ran to me in a flash. Well, not a chance. Bye-bye. Well then, goodbye. At the end of my word, I disappeared. Exclusive terrorism in the midday, no casualties. Who is the A-class villain? Egos tick. The media is trying to find out. Breaking news, a statement from the Hero Association. The villain's abilities seem to be telekinesis and teleport. Hijacking a radio in this current time. Will the security of Korean broadcasting be okay? Who is Stardust, the hero that got targeted by the radio hijacking villain? Take a look at her achievements. Passengers and the crew, complaints of anxiety and panic disorder. Refused to be interviewed. That day, articles poured down the country. An unusual event occurred in daily life. Unlike other terror attacks against certain areas or certain people, this time the attack was live broadcast to the entire nation, which makes the villain a huge difference from other terrorists. In a word, people have their attention on the aggro. The whole nation became aware of the incident within a day, and the prime mover, villain Egoistic, and the hero that confronted him, Stardust, drew attention at once. Not only Korea, but also foreign media were paying attention to the large-scale incident. The Hero Association of Korea praised, with the performance of the A-class hero Stardust, we were able to end the attack with 0 casualties. All the articles came out like that. The full video of the sensational incident topped YouTube's real-time most viewed chart. Numerous places have begun to upload posts that summarized and analyzed the villain Egoistic. And, of course, among the analysts, there was the Superhero Association of Korea. Okay, let's start the briefing. The Hero Association of Korea. On the top floor, a meeting was taking place. The new villain has been revealed. The name is Egoistic. Gender is believed to be Korean male and appears to be in his early to mid-20s. I don't know about his location, but given the concentration of all the incidents in Seoul, there's a high chance that he is staying in Seoul. Please take a look at the materials about the criminal's appearance. The information that was distributed to everyone attending the meeting included his front and side shots. He wears an all-black uniform from head to toe, a black robe that looks like a long coat and a black cape, and a mask that covers half of his face. Below the photo, it was written as a footnote. Even though it covers only half of his face, it is presumed that the difficulty of identifying the face is because of a cognitive impairment function. Until now, he has killed 2 people, an A-class and an S-class villain. Both appear to have been killed by compression or explosion of the head by telekinesis, and it is assumed to be a sudden attack because there were no injuries in other places. How strong do you think his telekinesis is? I'm not sure yet. First, smashing a skull of a defenseless opponent who stays still into 2 pieces is something even a C-class can do. Of course, if the opponent was resisting, it's not even an easy job for an A-class. But it is presumed that he attacked when they were defenseless. Does that mean he's a C-class? We cannot be sure about that either, because there is also a possibility that the villain did not use his strength on purpose when he attacked. Okay, keep going. Yes. Although Egoistic has only killed 2 villains himself, it seems like he was also trying to slaughter the normal citizens with a mass terrorism. As the briefing went that far, a heavy silence came across the room. The reason they gathered here is because of yesterday's incident. Okay, let me dive in and explain about yesterday's incident, which is called the attempted bombing of cruise ships on Han River. First of all, the bombs seem to have been attached in advance, and after dismantling them, it was confirmed to be a powerful explosive bomb that is enough to break the ships in half. It is not yet known where these were obtained. The presenter, who has been speaking so far, excused himself for a moment. He took a sip of water and began to speak again. And the radio hijacking. It is uncertain how the radio was hijacked and broadcast through the latest security technology. There were no logs left, and the camera was also moved by the villain, so we couldn't verify it yet. Some people said that he might have a radio-related ability, but there is no data on the superpower related to information technology. And there are also no cases about, oh my, I feel like dying. Gosh, I'm really going to die. Ugh, ugh. At last I got to lie on the bed. I fell asleep like a baby. Ouch. Save the villain. Oh man. I opened my eyes the next morning. After sleeping for almost half of a day, I woke up with a sore body and turned on the TV. The news was all about yesterday's incident. Newswide, a deep analysis on villain Egoistic. 2 panels on TV were giving an explanation about me. They talked about my superpowers, hacking skills. Then suddenly my face appeared on TV. Black hair with a gray mask that covers half of my face. Wow, Mom, I'm on TV. Oh, she doesn't exist in this world, right? Mom, how are you doing over there? I became a celebrity in this world, but everyone is trying to catch me. Oh my God, my body is worn out. I got out of bed while punching my back. I don't have time to lie down like this. When I got up, I was still wearing the same clothes from yesterday, wearing a black robe that comes down to the legs. Perhaps because I slept with it on, it got crumpled here and there, and I did not like it. Man, let's get changed. After changing to more comfortable clothes, I turned on my laptop. The Windows sound effect popped up while whirring. I looked around my room as the laptop was starting. A small studio with sunlight from the windows. Geez, I need to leave here soon too. I have been living in this room for a while ever since I fell into this world. But now that I have earned some money, there is no point in living here. Now that I am an A-class villain, I should be living a little more formal life. Not an A. I think I am a triple A-class villain. Why haven't they promoted me to Class S yet? Well, I haven't done much evil stuff yet, though. By the way, I wonder how people reacted. I went to the laptop that was turned on, went on the internet, and, well, let's see. Oh, it's crazy up here. My story is all over the portal headlines. Live broadcast of the massive terrorism. Who is Ego's Tick? This is my first time getting this much attention. As expected, it was a good choice to drag Nagro. Who would have known if I had kidnapped ships in that corner of Han River, right? As for the Hero Association of Korea, they must have tried to ask without anyone knowing. Well, it must have been mentioned in the headline on the 9 o'clock news. At 2 p.m. today, an act of a massive terrorism almost occurred on the cruise ships on Han River. Fortunately, there were no casualties. It probably came out and just ended right on time. They would not sit and talk about me all day long like this moment. The sense of realism is scary. Think about it. Someone was playing Nintendo with their friends, and suddenly the TV turned off. Then all of a sudden I came out. Black clothes, gray mask with a wicked smile. And then I put bombs on ships. But the person who pressed it first could live? I shuddered every time I watched this in the theater. But how focused would the Korean people have been when they saw it as a real situation? Honestly, this is a huge entertainment show. Shouldn't I have taken some PPLs? Put a coat poster on the wall of the cabins. Having my own silly imagination, I continued to look at the comments on the internet. He's scary, he's amazing, and so on. The public paid attention to the new A-class villain. That's true. The impact of the hijacking and death of the two villains would be huge even when I think about it. I also have to praise humanity. Eventually, no one pressed the button. Justice prevails, blah, blah, blah. This incident proves that human beings are not selfish and that they are good. Having grasped the general atmosphere after hours of searching, I decided to sort out what I got from the show. The first thing I got, making my name known to the whole country. Ego's Tick. Honestly, I don't think it is a good name. When I think about my black robe, I should have named myself Black Robe or Persona. Well, it's too late now. Let's leave the past behind. However, I started to regret it a lot when I saw a comment on the article telling them to catch the mango stick. Oh, anyway, the second prophet promotes Stardust to the nation. Stardust also became very popular. She was the second face to be shown the most on the 9 o'clock news. Stardust was quite popular with the public in the original work. First of all, she's pretty. Not many heroes have that kind of beauty. But as time went by, Stardust's image became not so good to the public. The reason she was famous at first was because of her beauty. Villains became more creative in the second half of the story after the first and second volume. In the public's opinion, they succeeded in giving the perception that they were naughty through various devices. On top of that, not only the social relationship as Stardust, but also the social position as Shin Haru is a true waste that leads to the destruction. I feel angry again just thinking about it. I'm going to get rid of all the bad villains, so our Stardust will only have to think of me. A Seoul without crime. A South Korea without terrorism. I'm going to do all of that. I am the only one who is going to do crime and terrorism. So, first of all, I promoted Stardust to the public this time. Not because of her appearance, but for justice. As a character with heroic personality, she struck a positive perception. She struck, right? Well, when I looked through the comments in the community, most of the reactions were positive. She did a good job with her speech, and I am certain that my praise worked on her. The enemy's acknowledgement is the most objective to people's perception. For now, the first step went well. I got up from my seat. There is no time to rest. There is no time to rest. It is time for the next plan. Now, I'm going to assassinate. No, I mean eliminate. Eliminate another A-class or S-class villains and plan another terrorism. Well, it is terrorism, but make sure to have no casualties. Nothing is easy. First, I have to meet that person again. Who am I meeting? The one who helped me hijack the radio. She became an S-class villain in the original work, but I have changed her future before she would become a villain. I took out my phone and started making a call. Yeah, Seoun. Appa just woke up. Oh, yeah. Oh, things like that happen. I told you it's tiring. Okay, okay. I'll be there now. Okay. Tien. Appa means older brother. The term is used when the woman is calling or talking to an older man, whether he's related to her or not. I hung up, picked up my coat, and headed out. I can just teleport, but as you have already seen, due to my lack of ability, if I travel a little far, I would collapse from exhaustion. So, walking it is. The weather was nice today. Night rain whispers from outside the window of this tatami room. It is someone else's country. Tien, from Easily Written Poem by Yun Dongju. I walked a little while holding an umbrella under the gentle rain. A residential area appeared after an hour of walking. There's a very normal-looking house. A door lock hanging on the door. I entered a 4-digit passcode. There's another door inside. Another door lock on the door. Is it a double lock? As I thought to myself, a regular home showed up after I entered the passcode. But there is a secret to this door lock. You might think that the secret is in the passcode. For that, I just entered it in order. It is a 13-digit long passcode. I know it because I'm a fan of the original work. I would not be able to memorize it for the first time. It was not long before I pressed all the numbers, then a sudden vibration from the inside. At the same time, the bottom of my feet slowly sunk in, and I began to lock up, slowly going down there. Where am I going? It's like going to the abyss. Should I call it an elevator? Well, I took something called a foot lift and went down. Down. But the thing is, come to think of it, I could have just teleported for the ground to the basement. All right, it is better to save my power. After such a short time, the lift stopped. A neat gray-walled interior. As I walked inside, the LED lights on the wall surrounded me. It was like a scene from a sci-fi movie about the near future. Then if we go deep inside, there's a large room. With countless displays attached to one wall, it was like a place from NASA's research center in the American space movies, where someone would say, Houston, Houston. Then suddenly someone would answer, this is Houston, over. That kind of place. A kid sitting in a large leather chair that looks twice as big as her figure, amid countless lights from the monitors. This kid was the one who helped me hijack the radio. In the second half of the original comic, she appeared as an S-class villain. Hey, Appa is here. You're here, Hyung. Tien. Hyung means older brother. The term is used when a man is calling or talking to an older man, whether he's related to him or not. She is Han Seo-eun, the genius hacker. I went to the chair where Seo-eun was sitting and pulled her hair up. Why do you call me Hyung? Anyway, what were you doing? What else? I was fixing this. Seo-eun frowned and shook her head as I stroked her white hair. She is short and pretty. She is certainly a girl, but she insists she is a boy. As I have already read the original, I think it is cute because I know that she is a girl. I wonder if she has any trauma about being a girl. I don't think so, but then why? It is a little weird to hear a girl call you Hyung. She is only in her 3rd year of middle school. Well, obviously she does not look like it at all. You did a great job in hijacking the radio yesterday, Seo-eun. My face just came out all over the country. Well, anyone could have done such an easy thing. She spoke so bluntly, but her lips twitched when I complimented her. I could see her smile. And Hyung, that's not the problem. Something just happened. What? What's the problem? No way there is a problem. Now look at this. Soon after Seo-eun showed me the video on one of the displays, my face was bound to stiffen slightly. What the hell is this? Agnostic's followers are causing a bomb attack in the center of Incheon. They are now claiming to cause more explosions with bombs. Who the hell are they? Why are they selling me out? Agnostic's followers are causing a bomb attack in the center of Incheon. They are now claiming to cause more explosions with bombs placed on the building. They are currently on a sit-in and share their desire of dying without any specific conditions. It is estimated that at least 3 people have died to this moment. I frowned as Seo-eun showed me the news. Who are those bastards? Why are they selling me out while proclaiming themselves as my followers? And what? They even cause casualties? They kill people? Something twisted inside me. Yesterday, I tried so hard to raise awareness and create my public images, and everything fell apart on the very next day. Do you know that you're crossing the line, you bastards? How dare you use my name and cause terrorism? And in such an uncivilized and violent way. A shallow way that doesn't suit me at all. and people have died. I swore to myself that I would never cause casualties to the people as I walked on this villain's path. But 3 people have died, and now I'm the one to blame because my followers did it. The lives of those 3. With a stiff face, I said to Seoun, sitting on the chair, "Seoun, help me one more time. I have to deal with those brats and do something about the aftermath." I knew that would happen, so I prepared it beforehand. Seoun searched through the drawer and handed me a phone. Holding it in my hand, I walked towards the lift. Aha, I forced a laugh. Seriously, working nonstop 2 days in a row is a little too much. The Superhero Association of Korea. However, no one calls them that, the Hero Association. Right now, the atmosphere of the Hero Association is intense. How is the current situation? Hearing the question from the president's deep voice, the agent sitting at the front quickly spoke up. The criminals are still staging a sit-in at the scene. Right now, I believe there are about 300 hostages being isolated inside the building. Any additional casualties? Not yet. Okay, I see. Are the heroes on their way? We have C-class and B-class heroes on standby, but they're threatening to detonate the bomb, so it's hard to approach. Damn it, those bastards. Did that ego's tick bring them here? We're investigating their connection, but we still don't know. All right, I see. Oh yeah, where is Stardust now? She's currently watching the situation nearby. She will probably make a sudden attack in case of an emergency. Like he said, Shin Haru, Stardust, was watching the situation closely from the rooftop of a nearby building. Damn it, what am I supposed to do? The reason why the Hero Association exists is simple. It is hard for the police, which are just ordinary citizens, to catch other villains who can use superpower. Technically, they want to use the superpowers to catch the superpowers. Terrorism in this generation is almost entirely caused by people with superpowers. Most of the terrorism are caused by either those who want to show off their power, hate the world, or who have been awakened as villains. So, this is the first terrorism that was caused by normal people who do not use superpower. The reason is, egos ticked that punk. Shin Haru gritted her teeth. The man clearly did not use much superpowers, but he still inspired others by the way he made pressure on the hero with only bombs. No, it's because of what happened the next day after what he caused. Yeah, the possibility will be rather high. Or that he organized another large-scale terrorism in one day, which is impossible. A planned crime is self-evidence. I should have killed him yesterday. Wait that. As soon as she found something, she got a call from her in-ear. Stardust, that Ego's Tick guy has finally appeared. I repeat, Ego's Tick himself seems to appear on the scene. Right now, the criminal is doing a live video of himself on YouTube. Please check it out right away. Even without hearing the urgent call from the headquarters, Shin Haru could see him at the moment. Because there he is, Ego's Tick standing in front of the building where the criminals took hostages. YouTube, one of the contacts from the headquarters did say that he was doing a live video on YouTube. She hurriedly turned on her phone and went into the app. The video is currently topping the chart on the main page. Ego's Tick Live. She clicked on the video. A building filled with cold tension. A street that no one can see. Something black appeared. A black robe covers the whole body. Black hair looks just like the clothes. And a half mask hides the face. Yeah, it's me, Ego's Tick. What's this? Shit, a villain's live broadcast. I think this Ego's Tick bastard is live, streaming the terrorism now. The best villain of this generation, Ego's Tick. Ha ha ha. I had nothing to do today, but now it's going to be interesting. There are so many crazy bastards in the chat room. It's a crime scene, you punks. Sure, as long as it's not me. Secondhand car, hashtag, vote %Swagenon at sale times right Korean one now. It's the last hashtag chance % selling it at right times away Korean one please. Contact us now. 070-3461-555. Release Kim Sunwoo. 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 Shit, this chat room is fucked up. Are YouTube not going to take this off? Thinking about his hijacking yesterday, YouTube might not be able to take it off. And the side of me walking was live, streaming on YouTube. The filming phone is fixed with my telekinesis. I have no other choice since I have to revive my reputation, which seems to be falling apart. I peeked at the chat room, and I started to regret it. Anyway, I kept walking. At some point, I was standing in front of the building. As I went in without any restrictions, the dark interior caught my eyes. A lot of people were sitting inside, and the people standing were wearing black clothes and masks just like me. Not a mask that covers half of the face, but covers their entire face. I entered through the entrance to the lobby of the large building. Holding guns in their hands, they were surprised to see me at first. Soon after, several people cheered when they recognized me through my black robe and the half mask. Then a voice from one of the terrorists echoed. He looked at me and said in a funny voice, "Our hero, Ego's Tick, come to join himself." Huh, what's wrong with these fuckers? Why am I the one to feel embarrassed? Starting with the guy who spoke first, the followers began to chant together. Ego's Tick. Ego's Tick. He came. He really came. Woo-ha. The rioters start screaming at me. The hostages were just crouching in between. Even if I decided to be a villain, I was also a regular Korean citizen until I came here. Something was burning inside me. Hey, you ignorant brats. This is just a riot. It doesn't have any feelings of intense pressure, original ideas, or psychological stress. Shallow terrorism that uses only primal fear and intimidation. You call yourself my followers, but sell my name out and create this mess? I have not said a word ever since I entered the building. I just turn my head slowly and carefully read their faces. Black robes and masks. They're all holding guns. And one of these guys must be holding the detonator somewhere. The one standing in the 3 o'clock direction is holding the detonator. A voice spoke up from my earphones. As expected, Han Seo-eun is indeed a genius hacker. She knows exactly what I need. Although I don't know how she figured it out. Between where they stand, it was packed with people. About 300 people, I guess. Now, what are we going to do with these brats? Okay. First, let's laugh. Ha ha ha. I lowered my head, giggled, then smiled. And then I laughed again. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. I laughed like a maniac. Inside the quiet building, only my laughter rang out. The self-proclaimed followers were also silent, as if they noticed something strange. After laughing my heart out, I stopped and spoke up. I heard something about my followers, so I came. It is. The tension swept through the room as my words flowed out. You're doing very, very well. Excellent. The followers seemed to be relieved immediately as they heard me. Yeah, relax yourselves. A man, who seems to be the leader among them, spoke up. Ha ha. Thank you, sir. Weary Gostic's passionate. Such an excellent. I interrupted him coldly, and I put my hand inside the coat. Such an excellent bullshit. As I was talking, I grabbed the man who appeared to be the leader and the man who was holding the detonator with my telekinesis. Right now, then I took the gun from my coat and shot them both. Bang, bang. Such an enjoyable sound. Thanks to my telekinesis, 2 of them were shot pathetically and collapsed while bleeding. Awa. The hostages started to scream at the sight of collapsed people and the sound of the gun. Standing among the self-proclaimed followers, hiding their faces behind the masks, I put my gun back. Now it's time for moral education. The Superhero Association of Korea, only a few people have superpowers. Among them, there are even fewer of them with double abilities. My abilities, telekinesis, and teleportation. Since I have 2 major class abilities, as someone with superpowers, I guess I can be considered as a golden spoon. Tien, spoon class theory in Korea. Golden spoon refers to the top 1% of the rich and powerful people in their society. You're right, I wish I was a golden spoon. Sadly, my abilities seem to be more of a spoon plated with gold than a pure golden spoon. There's only one reason. All of my abilities are flawed. Take teleportation as an example. If I teleport for 1 kilometer, the exhaustion comes at once after traveling that distance at full speed. I teleported for a long distance yesterday and ended up sleeping all day. So I can see a flaw in it. Among the villains, there's only one teleporter that has no restrictions. Instead, he only has teleportation ability. This means he can only appear and then disappear like a ghost, flashing from the east to the west. On the same principle, my telekinesis has a big flaw. My ability is like a weak claw from a doll claw machine. It is impossible for me to hold a person who resists violently, and I can only use it to make things float in the air. Like the floating smartphone right now. Well, using the power to get something fixed is hard, but to hit someone is so much easier. When you look at the claw machine, it can hardly grab anything, but you can still control it to move it side to side quickly. I guess the only advantage is that I can do something similar to a charge attack asterisk. If you use it at once, after gathering strength for a long time, you will still have a deal. I linked this to my teleportation ability and went around breaking the heads of the villains. Asterisk TN, gathering strength for one fully powered up attack, which can cause a large deal of damage. This term can be seen a lot in games. Of course, whether there are advantages or not, I am sure that my abilities are flawed. Even so, still, you know what? Here, I will still be able to handle those little punks with just a gun. And it is also a skill. It is more than enough. W, what are you doing? Inside a building filled with the screams of the hostages. I replied to him, whose voice seemed to be shocked. You guys are doing shitty things, so shouldn't I educate you a little bit? As he opened his mouth, I gave him a shot. The distance between him and me was quite far, but the bullet went unshakable and shot right in the middle of his forehead. Luckily, it did not seem like a bulletproof mask. I looked at him falling to the ground. Undisturbed comfort. Ego's bullet. Of course, I was able to change the bullet's path with my telekinesis in advance. Well, this is also my skill, right? Phew, I'm glad that I have this poor telekinetic power. Without it, I could never have shot a person so accurately since I only experienced using guns when I was in the military. After 3 of them collapsed, the rest of those bastards started to point their guns at me. They said they were my followers. Why are they pointing guns at me? These guys are hilarious. An urgent, explosive situation. I took a peek at my smartphone, which is still floating in the air and streaming smoothly. He just killed 3 people. Ha 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 ha. I feel so emotional. Wasn't he on the same side? Why did he kill them? This is rated R. Look at the blood. Fuck, my brother's there. Isn't this Ego's tick bastard a nice guy? 1 shot, 1 kill. Gosh. Damn it, you brats. Is this a game to you? This is a real situation. Why are laughing about it? The brats these days. What are the heroes doing? Kaiga. What's going to happen to the people there? I am so worried. Everyone hang in there. Release Kim Sunwoo. 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 Fuck, are there any managers here? Take down these comments. Ego Appa seems to be a handsome guy even when he covers half of his face. There are so many crazy brats here. Ha 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 ha. This is a real situation, you morons. They are looking for the manager while watching a villain's terrorism. Sick bastards. Ha ha. If the comments here get captured, we're going to be the national shame. I only looked at it for a second, and it made me feel dizzy. I turned my head around and grasped the atmosphere of the scene. The screaming hostages were now covering their ears and shivering. Yeah, the sound of the gun is pretty scary. When I had a look around the hostages, they were mainly male and female in their 20s or 30s. I don't even know what kind of building this is. Is it a company? While I was guessing, the guy pointing a gun at me started yelling. What a jerk. Ego's tick. What have we done wrong? Why are you doing this to us all of a sudden? The guy screamed at me. So disgusting. Frankly, I would never have paid attention to this kind of terrorism if they didn't sell me out. Because this is a hero's job. Well, even though I am planning to eliminate all the villains who commit major casualties before. Anyway, for the sake of an ignorant man who knows nothing of his own fault, I decided to tell him myself. I think I have the nicest personality among the villains. Mistake? You didn't make any mistakes. I spun the gun around my hand. How funny as they flinched at my action. These fools, after all, they didn't shoot me because they are my followers. But I feel a little sorry as the trembling hostages glanced at me. Gosh, I'm being too weak-hearted. Can I even call myself a villain? Of course, if you consider your ignorance a mistake, then it is a mistake. If you think about it like that, you guys, as I spoke up, I made the guns, which I put in my code in advance, float with my telekinesis. Their eyes were wide open as they saw the guns rising in the air. Well, do you think I would only use the gun with my hands? I have telekinesis ability, you brats. Everyone, you committed high treason. So you're going to be executed immediately. I fired them in different directions with the floating guns. The hostages were screaming behind. The followers started to collapse following the bang sound of the guns. Even though I was just trying to educate them, it does seem a little aggressive. Well, I guess what they learned today will help them be more careful in the next life. Using my telekinesis, I hit a bullet that was flying towards me. No matter how weak my telekinesis is, I still have enough strength to change the direction of a bullet. Well, it is also because I already guessed that they were going to fire at me. Every one of them collapsed, and only one left. All of his teammates had died, and only one follower was left alive. The reason for keeping one of them alive is simple. The association also has to catch one. And don't you think if they know what happened, they will have something to say at the press conference? The reason I saved that person's life among those 8 men is the only one with long hair. So I think that person is a woman. What? Why? Is it a crime to adore a woman? I'm dignified. Only those who hate women and homosexuals would be pissed at me. So just ignore me. I shot and killed everyone, and then slowly walked to her with a smile. Step. Oh my God. SS saved me. As I got closer, the woman was trembling. She didn't try to shoot me anymore. Perhaps she realized that it would never work even if she did. Eventually, I got closer to her as she was trembling as if she were almost broken. Sniffle. She was almost about to cry when I stood in front of her. I held her chin with one hand, and I took off her mask with the other hand. Her face was revealed as I took off her mask. You look pretty. I was a little flustered as a pretty girl appeared all of a sudden. She looked up at me with her pretty teary eyes, and it stirred up my protective instinct. I almost turned into a sweet guy and wiped her tears off. But I pulled myself together and talked to her. Do you admit your mistake? She answered my question in a gentle, trembling voice. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Wait, what is wrong with her? Why is she acting like I am going to eat her alive? I could feel her dazzling appearance shaking my composure, but I regained my mind. No, I'm all about Stardust. I will not be seduced by another woman. With a strong heart, I asked a question that would break her mental. What did you do? What? I asked. What did you do? I asked the question again with a grin on my face. She eventually collapsed as her legs seemed to be weakened. We caused this without your permission, Mr. Ego's tick. I am so sorry. Please save me. Please spare my life. The woman suddenly wailed loudly as she was talking. What's wrong with her? I haven't done anything yet. You're the bad guy, but now you made me look like a bad guy. Wait, am I the bad guy? She broke the silence of the building with her crying. He's such a trash. Ha. I felt upset when I saw what they posted in the chat window. I know at some point they would call me that, but I never expected it would be in this situation. 300 people. 300 people, a fair number of high school students. The fact that so many people are gathered together means a lot of things. Whether the place has that much space for them, or they're stuck together. In this case, maybe both. The large number of 300 people are gathered side by side in a large space. So many people are gathered at the same time, but none of them open their mouths. And is it quiet? No, it is not. Because of the woman who is wailing in front of me. Wah. Stop crying, please. She's crying so sadly. He killed 7 members of her side. It is something worth crying about. Is she going to die soon? She's pretty, though. That's too bad. You crazy brats. Are you not seeing the shivering hostages? This is not a movie. Yeah, as long as it's not me. I don't think he will kill the hostages. Looking at that woman crying so sadly, I'm so worried. Seriously, that woman is also a terrorist. You crazy brats, ha. This is even more interesting than terrestrial TV. So much fun. Looking at the comments again to see how the atmosphere was, I realized that I didn't need to see it anymore. My head is spinning. Wah. First of all, this woman is more troubling. What should I do? She is so loud. Should I just kill her? No, but I should at least warn her. I am a gentleman, after all. I squatted down in front of her and picked up the handgun that she dropped. As I remained low, I made eye contact with the woman. When our eyes met, I smiled gently at her and said, "If you keep crying, I will shoot you." When I pretended to shoot with the handgun as a joke, she started to panic and tried her best to stop crying. Can people hold back their tears by putting the fist in their mouth? I'm not sure. Anyway, it got quieter than before. Listening to her hiccups behind, I stood in front of the hostages. What a grand sight as 300 people squatting down and looking up at me. Their eyes were filled with fear. I was wondering why, but then I realized I just killed 7 people in front of them. How often would people see other people get shot, bleed, and collapse in real life? Wait, or is it a normal thing for people in this world? This is Seoul, Asia's third largest economy and third largest terrorist city. Strangely, the city is considered as the capital of Korea, with a large number of heroes and villains with superpowers. Anyway, people look very nervous. I spoke up loudly to them. All right. Hi, everyone. I am the A-class villain, Ego's Tick. Nice to meet you. Using my telekinesis, I amplify my voice louder so everyone can hear me. The atmosphere got colder when I was done talking. Everyone looked nervous. Come on, I will not hurt you. I bet he's going to say now, kill each other. Looking at the comments, I can see why. What do you think I am? I'm not that kind of psychopath. Come to think of it, I did set up the scene where whoever between 2 ships kills the other first gets to live. Gosh, all right, my bad. My bad, I said to the trembling people. First of all, I would like to apologize to everyone here. I'm very sorry. I bowed in 90 degrees. Really, I even used my telekinesis to keep my bow at the right angle. This kind of detail is important. When I suddenly bowed to apologize, I could feel people holding their breath. I straightened my back and continued. Although I didn't commit this, I feel a great responsibility for these copycat crimes committed by my precedents. The hostages' mouths were wide open. All of a sudden, the atmosphere started to get noisy. What is he talking about? Is this the villain? So what are those villains that I've been seeing so far? The chat window was shocked. This is how parents would react when they saw their son, who had always gone around and caused trouble, suddenly came back with an acceptance letter from Seoul National University after studying hard for 50 days. Whether or not, I kept speaking. Taking hostages is something that I wouldn't do, so you could just go back home now. I'm going to send $1,000 to each of you who has suffered because of me, so please check your account. What nonsense is this? Giving compensation for the damage? Fuck ha 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 ha. Mom, I'm going to be a hostage when I grow up. Mom, I'm going to be a hostage when I grow up. Mom, I'm going to be a hostage when I grow up. Mom, I'm going to be a hostage when I grow up. Mom, I'm going to be a hostage when I grow up. Mom, I'm going to be a hostage when I grow up. Is this really terrorism? What kind of terrorism I've experienced so far? I will send $10,000 to each of the 3 unfortunate deceased people. I know all the accounts, so you don't have to worry. I told you, right? I am rich. I wasn't before, but now spending money is the best I can do. Just $10,000? TSK, I know people died, but $10,000 is too much. Honestly, Ego's Tick didn't even kill them. Isn't $10,000 too much? Really, $10,000 is too much for a death compensation. Seriously, he didn't even kill them in the first place. Ha 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 ha. Looking at the comments, I regret it. Perhaps I should have said $100,000. I cannot take it back now. The transactions are already waiting in my account. How'd I know their accounts? Of course, Seoun the genius hacker would help me take care of it. I should probably trust Seoun. TN. Sighing SFX. I think I just heard a sigh from my in-ear, but probably it was just me. Yeah. Having said everything, I looked back again. The unknown female follower was still trembling behind me. If I just leave her here, she will either die or cause trouble. Should I just tie her up? Hyung, just bring her here. I heard Seoun speak up through my in-ear. She want me to bring her there? This woman? Why? But I couldn't raise my voice and ask her. Hundreds of people are watching me right now, and if I mutter to myself, I would look so stupid. I think I know her. If I'm right, she could be a big help. So it's better to bring her here. All right. Seoun sounded so sure about it. There must be a reason. Lady, come with me. While away at, I picked the strange, crying woman up and held her in my arms. She started to struggle as if she was shocked. I held her and then greeted the people. Well then, goodbye. As soon as I said goodbye, I spread my cape in front of me. Then I disappeared. Is the broadcast ended? The ending was a little boring. I give you 6/10. Release Kim Sunwoo. 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 After seeing that, they decided to put Kim Sunwoo to death. Sad face, the broadcast has ended. And I turned off the chaotic live broadcast, too. A responsible villain who compensates with money? Real reviews from the hostages. Ego's Tick, who is he? Let's take a closer look. Editorial, a villain who killed his terrorist followers. Is it a right thing to do? Ego's Tick, the villain who became the main topic from yesterday to 9 o'clock news today. News tree. Writer, Anonymous. Title, So It's True? An A-class villain suddenly kidnapped 2 ships and insisted kill each other from now on, but ended up not killing anyone. Then his followers started terrorism the next day, so he stepped up to the plate, killed them all, then compensated the hostages and released them. And all of these were live broadcast. Anonymous 8. What villain would name himself Mango Stick? Haha. Anonymous 9. Honestly, he killed the villains, stopped terrorism, and released the hostages. Isn't he a hero? Anonymous 10. Hero. Kidnapped ships and attempted to explode them. Anonymous 9. But did anyone die? Haha. Anonymous 11. I support the dark hero, Mango Stick. The villain makes the whole nation engrave his name 2 days in a row, Mango Stick. Not that, he is Ego's Tick. She shook her head and corrected herself. She has been scrolling on the community, reading the public's opinions for too long. Perhaps her mind was worn out. Haru, what are you doing? Oh, Yuni. Tien. Yuni means older sister. The term is used when a woman is calling or talking to an older woman, whether she is related to her or not. Inside the cafe, the college student Shin Haru was doing her assignment with her senior. When she is a hero, she basically hides her name and wears a direct recognition filter all the time, so no one knows that she is a hero. She wants to enjoy an ordinary college life. She was living a double life as Shin Haru, an ordinary college student during the day, and Stardust, a hero at night. Haru, you don't seem like you are concentrating. What's the matter? And nothing. I just have something to think about for a moment. She shook her hand and relieved her senior by claiming that she was okay and she would work hard now. She took the pen to do her homework again, but her attention was on somewhere else. Ego's Tick, what the hell is that guy? Shin Haru, a third-year student at Yonhui University. She is normal except for her blonde hair and an appearance that makes everyone have to glance over their shoulders. Honestly, being pretty is not normal. Anyway, only a few people know that she is a hero. A secret no one knows except for some of the Hero Association's agents and her fellow heroes. That is why she was able to enjoy a relatively normal college life. Of course, the fact that she was absent more than other students is somehow suspicious. Not just that. She missed the party at the beginning of the semester, the orientation, the MT, the after-party, the festival. Since she didn't participate in any school events, she can hardly be close with anyone. Of course, she is also deliberately distancing herself with people on purpose. However, she is still close to some classmates and seniors, so is not a big problem. Just like that, she was doing well in the double life of a college student and a hero. Terrorism rarely happens in Seoul. Maybe once every 2 weeks. Honestly, the amount is normally considered as often. But in this confusing world, it is still bearable. Not many strong villains appeared in Korea yet. Of course, in the world's largest country, United States, they said the terrorism is rampant every day to match its population. Instead, they have many S-class and A-class heroes, so the balance is maintained. When you go to the US, a city is full of A-class heroes. Considering that Korea does not have many A-class heroes, the U.S is amazing. That's why she doesn't think that she is very capable, even though she is an A-class hero. Well, what is her ability? Nothing more than being very strong and flying. That is all she could do. So when Ego's Tick caused trouble last time, she could do nothing but watch. Tap, tap. She tapped her finger on the glass of mango smoothie she was drinking. Egoistic. At first, seeing him killing other villains made her furious. In fact, she had this thought about Egoistic. A childish little boy suddenly received a superpower, so he ran wild. It was her guess. An attention seeker got his power, and suddenly he thought, oh, why don't we just kill all the villains with this? Then he got excited and killed other villains. Instead of formally applying to be a hero, becoming a member of the judiciary. A child who acts as if he is justice by using excessive force. Some people set out to be vigilantes after gaining powers and enjoy having the public's attention. They deluded themselves as heroes who were different from the inflexible heroes. The type that she hates the most. Attention seekers. That thought changed to conviction when Shin Haru saw her name written in blood at the murder scene. A disgusting bastard. She is sure that he only cares about her face. How could he be so brutal and do that with blood? She could only think of putting him in jail at that time. Although, she didn't understand how he found out where the hidden A-class villains lived. Yeah, no one knew back then. She doesn't know if he is crazy. Yes, there are bombs on those 2 ships right now. Boom. And everyone on those 2 ships will die without being able to say goodbye to their loved ones. The time limit is 30 minutes, and you cannot press the detonators of 2 ships. He was not just a child excited over his superpower. He was surely a villain, planning a large-scale terrorism. And he was also a psychopath who played with others' hearts. Even though she showed nothing outside, but inside she was shocked. How can a person be so anti-human? Honestly, if Egoistic hears about this story, he will be upset that it was not his idea, but in homage from an old movie in the past life. But she couldn't tell him that. He said his name was Egotic. People in the community analyzed that he seems to name himself after the English word egoistic, which means selfish. The connection between his name and his idea about how selfish human beings are. Even by looking at this, he does not look like a normal person. And the long-awaited last week. At first, she sighed when she heard that Egoistic's followers were causing a bomb attack. When a madman comes out, other villains pour out like the fallout effect. She doesn't even know how Egoistic proceeded with the event the very next day after his first terrorism. The terrorist attacks happened so close to the other as she had to assume that they were prearranged plans. The followers who sincerely follow Egoistic were born in a day, and they were so active that they caused terrorism on the very next day. Even when the association discussed and put out a policy to prevent copycat crimes like Egoistic's bomb attack. The terrorism happened so fast that she had no choice but to go along with it without any preparation. However, she could only blame herself for doing nothing and watch the situation nervously. Egoistic stepped up to the plate himself. To be honest, she was very nervous. Scared? Sure. She decided to be cool and admitted it. She was a little scared. A little. Not really scared. The man, who no one can predict his next action, went there himself. And not to mention, a place with more than hundreds of hostages. It would have been strange if she didn't worry. All the heroes from the association, including herself, could only watch the situation while holding their breath. And of course, they had no choice but to watch it through the live broadcast. Even though his close-up face was covered up, he looked so shameless that she just wanted to run there and punch him right away. But she tried to keep it cool and continued watching. And he proved that he was a freak, too. When he saw his followers, he shot them all together while calling them bullshits. Then he released the hostages safely. He even made a promise to compensate them with money. She heard that money was actually transferred into the victims' accounts. They were sent from a fake bank account, so they cannot track him down. Not only did he give them money, he even apologized. He apologized to them since his followers caused a fuss, right in front of the live broadcast. At that point, she was really confused. What the hell is he doing? If he is a villain, he has to act like a villain. And frankly speaking, he was actually heroic in his actions that day. Of course, you cannot accept a vigilante. However, since the association has allowed his killings as he was doing it to save the hostage's life, and they were dead anyway, that's why she finds it weird. None of the villains were like this Egoistic. Indiscriminate murders, bombing, arson, kidnapping, terrorism. Villains causing these crimes were very common. but a villain who seems to have some kind of belief like this egoistic guy. This is the first case she saw. Of course, there may be similar cases around the world, but this is at least the first case in Korea. Ring. She left the cafe after finishing her homework. A nice day with warm sunshine. She stretched out her arms as a habit. Whoa. Sometimes, men walk by and glance back at her as she reaches out her arms to stretch. But she doesn't notice. Ego's tick. He knows where the villain's hideouts are. He can hijack the radio. He knows the account money of the hostages who he met for the first time. He is rich. Who the hell is this guy? Ego's tick has already become the #1 alert in her mind. She means, whether he is good or bad, the man named Ego's tick has a big share. I'm going to find out who you are. TSK. Is someone talking about me? Isn't it because you haven't washed up lately? Seo-eun, I know that you're a girl, but you keep on. Hyung, please be quiet. All right. Should I prepare water for you? Soo-bin, what's the matter with you again? You don't have to do anything. Just stay still. Also, I wash myself every day. I was framed. Okay. Why don't you trust me? I said I was framed. In the heart of Seoul. A secret base located deep down a few stories in a normal-looking house. The base of Ego's tick. Ego base. Hyung, why are you naming someone's house like that? Seo-eun, there's no such thing as your house or my house between you and me. Your house is mine. Mine is yours. You sold your house, so you don't even have a house anymore. Yeah, I moved out to Seo-eun's underground secret basement. Since I have to do many things from now on, I decided it would be better to move to a place where all the equipment is gathered. Seo-eun agreed with me. Although I don't even know how deep it is, the place is still bright and nice with the LED lights. It has a lot of rooms, so there's no big problem. Thank you, Seo-eun. As I looked at Seo-eun with gratitude, Seo-eun frowned as if she wanted to ask me, what are you looking at? That brat. My best friend and the genius hacker, Han Seo-eun. She is a small child with a silver bob. She is only in 9th grade. I thought she was in 7th grade at first. She keeps calling me Hyung and claiming that she is a boy. Seo-eun, I already read the original comic, and I know that you are a girl. I never thought a middle school girl would call me Hyung. That doesn't mean that Seo-eun is the only one who lives here. The self-proclaimed follower of mine, the woman I kidnapped, I guess. Soo-bin, who is frightened looking up at me, is also living with us. How I picked her up is a long story. The number of people living with me is increasing. It is just me thinking so, right? Hyung, stop making weird noises. You bad punk. Appa is working so hard and you can't even give me comfort. Don't you Appa with me. Anyway, it will be better if you just lay there. Why are you being a crybaby? I thought my tears were coming out as Seung looked at me pitifully. Gosh, it really hurts. This place is deep underground somewhere in Seoul. It was the underground base of Han Seo-eun, a genius hacker and a genius scientist who can make everything. Of course, she is still a kid who is only in 9th grade. As soon as I dealt with the terrorism caused by my followers impersonating me, I teleported myself here and fainted again. Teleporting continuously is killing me, even to a deep underground. Still, it certainly didn't hurt that much since Seo-eun made me a fatigue recovery capsule. She should have told me that she had something like this yesterday. I was completely knocked out all day yesterday. It was even twice as hard because I wasn't the only one moving. I also dragged another person with me this time. Fortunately, Seo-eun made this fatigue recovery capsule or something, or else I would have actually fainted. URG. So, why did you tell me to bring her here? I pointed to the woman sitting on the chair. As she realized she was being noticed, the woman hiccuped and was surprised. The woman with long black straight hair and her eyes looking dead. Somehow I feel bad looking at her. She even looks pretty, so she looks like the heroine of a tragic love story. She is the only one I saved among the 8 followers. Honestly, I saved her as I wanted to give her to the Hero Association and Stardust as a gift. But I just brought her back after listening to Seo-eun. Oh, Seung, who was busy with something on her computer screen, turned her chair and looked at us. Seo-eun looked at her and asked, Nuna. Nuna, are you Lee Soo-bin? Tien, Nuna means older sister. The term is used when a man is calling or talking to an older woman, whether he is related to him or not. Huh. Oh, how did you know? I know everything. Seo-eun was being all chic and stated. But if you look closely, her nose bridge seems to get higher. This kiddo is so cute trying to talk like that. I feel like a father smiling at his daughter. So that person's name was Lee Subin. Come to think of it, I didn't even know her name yet. Lee Subin, a very common name. So, Seo-eun, can you explain why I had to bring Lee Subin here? She self-proclaimed as my follower. She shuddered again when I said, I mean, she's so timid. How did she cause that terrorism? She already started to tear up. She must be very scared. Oh, I would like to ask you a favor. Seo-eun said casually. Wait, ask for a favor? You? Not only me, but Lee Subin also seemed quite confused by Seo-eun's words. What does this mean all of a sudden? No. Seo-eun, I don't understand. You told me to kidnap a terrorist that I just met for the first time to help you? Oh. Before that, wouldn't it be faster for you to get stabbed with a bread knife by that person while you sleep? The woman behind said, I'm not letting go of the bread knife or something, but I ignored her. This place is a cold and heartless ego base. The one with a tiny voice cannot survive. Huh, it's not like that. What do you mean it's not like that, Seo-eun? I think you don't know the world yet because you're still in 9th grade of middle school. This world is not a place where people would actually work quietly for the people who kidnap them and tell them to work. Don't you think she would hold grudges? Either she's going to steal all your information and run away or get back at you. Even though I don't know why you need her help. I felt like someone from the back shook her head like she wanted to say, I will not betray you. Well, it was not a feeling, but she actually said it. Seo-eun only sighed at my speech. Seriously, this brat? That's it. I have to be disciplined as a father. As I was about to begin my speech, Seo-eun spoke up. Hey, Lee Subin. Hey, Cha. Your parents were researchers at Hanun Group, right? At that moment, blood veins started to disappear on Lee Subin's face. Her face turned pale in an instant. And in no, she began to deny. Looking at that sight, Seo-eun only smiled bitterly. Yini, don't you want to get revenge too? To those bastards, Hanun Group. What? Didn't your parents die in that accident? Lee Subin's face stiffened slightly at Seo-eun's words. I was about to scold Seo-eun, saying she was stepping down from her concept and calling that woman Yuni, but when she mentioned accident with the Hanun Group, I began to listen carefully. I saw your posts on the deep web. You don't like the Hanun Group either. You said you wanted to kill them all. How do I know? Your firewall software has too many weaknesses. You should make a new one. Getting up from her seat, Seo-eun approached Lee Subin and held her hands tightly. It was a little funny that Lee Subin, who is sitting on the chair, is taller than Seo-eun, who is standing. But I decided to say nothing because the moment seemed serious. I'm looking for the head of the Hanun Group. They ruined my life. I'm going to find them, search for them, and kill them all. I think only then I can feel relieved. Subin, will you help me please? When Seo-eun ended her sentence like that, Lee Subin burst into tears and held Seo-eun's hands. Yes, let me help you. Thank you, Subin. Then two of them hugged each other. Seo-eun with white hair and Lee Subin with black hair are hugging each other. It looks like a black and white picture. Am I the only one who cannot keep up with the emotions? What the hell are these two doing all of a sudden? They said a few words and then hugged each other. Watching two of them hugging like that, a man like me feels left alone, so I just laid there awkwardly. What the hell is happening? Lee Subin graduated from Seoul National University with a computer engineering degree. She is the same age as me, 25 years old. Her parents died when she was young, so she lived by herself with a subsidy. Since middle school, she has been studying computers like hikikomori, and her computer skills are excellent. Her quality is high enough to understand every word Seo-eun says, while I understand nothing. She works for the cyber terrorism agents and economic life on Deep Web. The reason she came out as my follower last time was, what? Out of nowhere. Yeah, they were talking about supporting Ego's Tick or something, and I only wanted to be part of it, so... What the? So in conclusion, she is not even my follower? I looked at her shifting from her seat. Lee Subin. Unlike her name, which sounds kind, She looks a little scary in person. She's tall with long black hair. When she has no expression on her face, she reminds me of those bullies during my school days. But how can she be so different from what she looks like? You don't have any friends? Yes. I stayed at home all the time, and I only attended class enough to graduate from school. Why do I feel like crying while listening to this? Well, she seemed harmless in general. Of course, she still has some suspicious points. For now, I have never seen her in Stardust comic, the world that I fell into. The fact that she has never appeared in the comic, which means she had no big impact. She was just an extra character, just like me. I see. Lee Soo-bin, welcome to our crew. Yes. I shook her hands. I could see her blushing from chewing her tongue while talking, but let's pretend that I didn't see it. Since when did we have a crew? I decided to ignore the murmuring Soon behind me. We have 3 people now, so this is a crew. But honestly, I'm a little nervous. I wish she was an original character, someone that I know. I know nothing about her true personality or what she has in mind. How can I let her stay beside Seon? What if something happens? Also, I moved from a comfortable home to this underground base. I told Seon a different reason, but honestly, she seemed to know roughly about my concerns. But why is she being like that? Does she know Soo-bin in advance? In such a deep underground basement, Han, Seon, Lee Soo-bin, and I, the 3 of us started living together. A man and 2 women living together. The picture looks a little weird. Seo-eun is in middle school, and Soo-bin, she is certainly a pretty woman. But there is no particular problem. My heart is already with Stardust, Shin Haru in the first place. When I fell into this world, I made up my mind to live for her for the rest of my life. Well, even though the day she and I will be together will never come. Haha. So I started living in this place. Living with other people is more chaotic than living alone. Hyung, did you realize you left the refrigerator door open? The ice cream will melt. Me? Hey, I never opened the refrigerator. Seo-eun, I think I left it open. I'm sorry. Oh, it's okay. People can make mistakes. Wow. You made a fuss when you thought I did it. I'm sad. So sad. Japan was surprised, America was shocked, and Europe was flipped out. K-Villain rocked the world. Why can't we have a villain like Ego's Thick? The spokesperson from the Hero Association of Japan said in tears. I put down my smartphone. I was enjoying the YouTube video, but this popped up. Sugar, I need something sweet. Looking at my dizzy face coming out on Gukpong TV, my sugar level dropped rapidly. Oh my god. How can this one not change anything from the previous world? The comic that became a reality, paradoxically, was very similar to the original reality. In other words, it is virtually the same except for things like heroes and villains, in line with the comic's worldview of a world where only superpowers exist on an ordinary Earth. So in this world, Gukpong TV is also after money. I have no idea why villains also became targets for Gukpong. Coming out of my room, I walked to the refrigerator. I only wanted to drink some orange juice, but why do I have to walk all the way through the hallway? Is this for real? I think I should actually buy a personal refrigerator and put it in my room. I have a lot of money, so I should spend it generously. After I got to the auditorium-sized living room, I opened the refrigerator. Only 1 bottle of Minute Maid left. As I remembered, I drank 2 bottles, so why is there only 1 left? Did Seon drink it? Tien. Minute Maid is a Korean brand of orange juice. Well, she has a sweet tooth like me. Okay, let's see what she is doing. I turned around and headed to the main sector of this underground base, where Seon is. Of course, I still remember to drink my orange juice on my way there. A cool beverage is indeed the best. It feels good when you swallow it. I liked chocolate milk when I was younger, but I like orange juice more now. Well, although both are elementary schoolers' tastes. Walking through the hallway again, I thought about Seo-eun for a while. Han Seo-eun. She is a senior in middle school. In the original work, she appeared as a villain in the latter part of the comic. She, by herself, destroyed the computer network in Korea and disabled the security of the Songdo concentration camp, which collected the worst villains, causing a major escape. The incident opened the catastrophe of Korea, which was the main event from issue 120 to 150 of Stardust. She appeared in the Apocalypse of Korea as the final villain. She died in the issues after that and never appeared again. Different from her image now, which is a girl with a short haircut like a boy, she appeared as an adult and attacked Stardust with all kinds of weapons that she invented. Eventually, she died after being stopped by Stardust. Her nickname at that time was the White Witch. Of course, I cannot imagine that image of her at this moment. She is only a middle schooler who loves sweet things and has a foul mouth now. Han Seo-eun, as you can see from her remarkable works in the original, she is a genius. Her specialty is computer hacking and invention. In fact, she is so smart that she can do everything. In reality, she is the character who breaks down the power balance created by the writer. Perhaps it is the reason why she appeared in the second half of the original. Her life story was unfortunate. She was raised as an experimental mouse in the Hanun group ever since she was young. They conducted all kinds of illegal experiments in the name of making artificial superpowers and eventually paid off to some extent. Hundreds of innocent children were replaced, and they only succeed in creating special superpowers for 4 children in the end. One of them was Seo-eun. The researchers called them superintelligence. The rest of the children all developed direct superpower. Electricity attacks, ice shooting, etc. After the children's awakening, they still continued the experiment with terrible things under the direction of the Hanun group's leaders. Even in such a hopeless situation, for children endured it all while comforting each other. But suddenly a child died. The remaining 3, including Seo-eun, were shocked as they were each other's mental support. Eventually, one of the children was so stressed that she was blown up by her power, causing everyone in the laboratory to get caught up and die. Of course, not all of them. Seo-eun survived. Since Seo-eun survived the incident, she had been living in this underground to avoid the eyes of the Hanun group, until I came to find her by myself. In the original work that I was not in, she kept track of the Hanun group by herself, to punish those leaders of the group who had been hiding after the terrible incident. In the end, she found them all by herself and got her revenge. All that remains after the revenge was emptiness. Shivering in a terrible emptiness, she ended up with a little, Well, she went crazy. After the incident happened to her brothers and herself, she became a villain and committed terrorism. She claimed that it is because of this incompetent country and the heroes. Of course, I will never let Seo-eun be such a villain anymore. Hold on, come to think of it, she is already my accomplice, so she's also a villain, right? Let me correct that. I am not going to let Seo-eun become such an insane villain. Being a moderate villain is good for your health. As it is also similar to the world that I lived in, being a villain is better than a hero in Korea. Naturally, what happened to Han Seo-eun would never be my business. I only approached to use her technology skills. But as we lived together, I became attached to this little kid. I cannot let her die in vain like that. Keeping that thought in mind, I arrived at the main sector and entered. A feast of monitors welcomed me as soon as I entered. One monitor has CCTV and some store different data. This space gets my eyes spinning. It is the main sector of this underground base. Well, wouldn't it be cooler if I named this space? Observation Center? Seo-eun is sitting on her chair, being busy with something. Subin is also working hard on something next to her. Seo-eun, what are you doing? I asked while getting closer to her. Seo-eun turned her head and looked at me. Hey, come here and take a look at this. Oh, what is it? As I got closer, she showed me. The 13th International Ice Cream Festival. This is their first time holding this in Korea. I have always wanted to go. Let's go there next time. With Subin. Sure. Subin was smiling shyly next to her. Subin, I'm all right. So Seo-eun, you wanted to go to that ice cream festival, huh? TSK. I can see Seo-eun got a lot brighter. It was only yesterday when I first met her. She was wary of me as a hedgehog. Now, she even asked us to go to the ice cream festival together. Even though I wonder who in the world would hold an ice cream festival. Sure. It is nice to see her pure and bright side. It is nice, but I thought she was working on something. She was focusing on the monitor, so I thought she was planning something again. I felt so proud of her for a moment. But she was planning to go to the ice cream festival. I never thought that I would have to go to an ice cream festival at this age. Anyway, you can go to whatever it is. So do you have any plans for our next goal? Next goal. After hearing my question, Seoun put a finger on her lips and started to make and thought about something. Oh, okay. What was it that you said? The Good Samaritan? Tien. Parable of Good Samaritan. Yeah, but that is also a massive terrorist attack, so it will be hard to carry it out in 1 week. It will give people fatigue, too. To start when people start to forget about our dark nig. Our ship terrorism, then boom. That is when we should pop out again. Well, then what else did you say that we should do? Eliminate the villains? Yeah, let's do that in our spare time. Do you recommend any villains? All we have is time anyway. Let me remember what you wanted to do. Didn't you say we should do that terrorism prediction or something? Seoun tilted her head while asking me. I only told her it was terrorism prediction, but I actually just read the original comic and tell them which brats will cause terrorism for the time being. I explained to them that I could use some methods I know to predict. Last time we eliminated the 2 most important brats, so it's okay. Now, you can choose anyone from the list I gave you. Really? Let's see. Subin, please put up the villain list. Okay. She answered affirmatively and operated the computer. Well, it has been about a week since we started to live together, and she seems to have adjusted. She has had a hard time trying to soothe herself for a week since she was scared of me. I think she's getting better now, but still a little scared of me. But we're on the same boat now, so I am not going to hurt her. Did I scare her too much last time? Let's see. Out of all the A-class villains, what about this brat? The one who teleports. Teleporter. That brat? I think it will be hard to kill that one. I usually hold them with my telekinesis, first to prevent them from sneaking away, then either bump their head or use a gun. But that brat can teleport. Even if I hold him with my telekinesis, he could just go poof and get away, so it will be tough. Very tough. Appa, the more tough an enemy is, the first you have to get rid of them. Huh, is that so? All right, it is better to just get it over with. Let's get him first. So stop looking at me like I am some pathetic child who hates studying. Okay, I will have to get ready soon. And Seoun. What? You started calling me Appa a while ago. Did you decide to take off your concept now? I grinned at her, and Seoun's face started to turn red. Oh, since I call Subin Yuni. She started to mutter something, so I quickly got out. She yells at me every time she gets shy. A picturesque mansion. This majestic mansion with a white exterior is full of modern refinement details. This place is crowded with rich people, as if they would not allow any working class to walk in. Somewhere nearby, I was hiding. The guy I am aiming for is an A-class villain teleporter. He is good at teleporting. Unlike my flawed teleportation, that guy's teleportation is much better. So he owns a true teleportation ability with no side effects after traveling. Although there seem to be some distance restrictions. In a way, this can also be seen as a fraudulent ability. No, I'm sure that it is a fraudulent ability. I have no idea if this teleporter is a coward or an idiot, but he only uses his ability to steal money from the bank. Well, at least for now. If I compare my current period with the original work, I think I am at the 5th issue, almost at the beginning of the comic. Only 5 out of 200 issues. Honestly, that is a relief. If I fell in the latter part of the comic, around the 100th issue till later, it would already be chaotic. Villains, who were initially sloppy because the writer could not adjust the balance for their powers, disappeared, and those bastards who can bring down the world started to come out. Seoun was the last villain which appeared in the episode of the Great Depression, which ended around the 150th issue at first. She tried to conquer only Korea, so it ended at that point, but she could actually break down the World Information Network system if she wanted to. This teleporter, he is a very persistent fellow. He got into a fight with Stardust at the beginning. Stardust somehow knocked the guy off his guard, and then sent him to prison with an anesthetic. But he teleported to escape as soon as he got his consciousness back. This guy, who was caught as a petty criminal early in the comic, revived splendidly in The Great Escape, episode where all villains escaped from a prison. He was crowned as the most annoying enemy of Stardust. He used to be one of those villains who used to spend a lot of money looking for small but certain happiness. But after years of being drugged and locked up by Stardust, he broke out of the prison. He lived with the determination to get back at Stardust who caught him. He became worse. He teleported at first. Well, I must say that this ability is a good deal to be sneaky. In later episodes, whenever he did something, he just popped out and hit the person, then ran away, then hit and ran away. If Stardust was a webtoon, a lot of people would demand to kill him while calling him a sweet potato. But since it is a comic book published as a book, it is impossible to check the real-time reactions, but I bet many readers got angry at him. Tien, in Korea, when they call a person sweet potato, it means either she is ugly or frustrating. And of course, I was one of them. So this guy, I should kill him when I can. Now, back to the mansion. I was waiting with my car parked nearby, and I contacted someone with my in-ear plugging into my ears. Normally, I can still do it well by myself without bothering Seoeun. But this time, the guy is not that picky. Seoeun, should we go in now? Wait, you haven't gone in yet? Hurry up and go inside. Hold on, so I only need to teleport to the living room right away, right? What if he is in the living room? Huh, I told you many times. Then just throw the tracking device at him and shoot at the same time. I think he will teleport to avoid the gun, so just in case he does. Still, the tracking device will be faster than the bullet since it's using a spider's web, so it will definitely stick to him. What the hell is a web-based tracking device faster than a bullet? I don't understand. Bullets are made by factories, and the tracking device is made by myself. Of course, mine will be faster. It will come out from the threading hole on the side of the tracking device, so there will be less physical resistance. Even if I explain it like this to you, you would never understand since you studied liberal arts, right? So just don't ask any questions. Hey, I can still understand everything even if I studied liberal art. Maybe. Anyway, I don't understand. Can't we just do it like those spy movies? You just need to attach it by bumping into him by accident. Not only would he use teleportation rather than walking on the street, but it would be more troublesome if you get caught on the CCTV. This is the most accurate. I researched his daily routine and planned it out. When he goes out of the house, most of the time he teleports, and it's impossible to predict where he will move, so we have to eliminate him in this way. But still, there should be a better way to attach the tracking device. There are more reasons than what I just told you. So please just do as you were told. Huh? Sounded as if I was pathetic, so I was discouraged. You rude brat. I'm almost 10 years older than you. Okay, I get it. I could see Seoeun got a little shocked when I said with a sulky voice. Hey, what's wrong? Don't be sulking all of a sudden. We already talked about something similar, and you're being like that again. As Seoeun was talking, I heard some noisy sounds next to her, so Seoeun stopped talking. Subin, who was staying next to her, seemed to say something. I heard some okay, and then Seoeun talked to me again. I'm sorry. Just go back to your position. We have no time to lose. Okay, I get it. She has been confusing me by calling me both Hyung and Appa since a while ago, so I wanted to ask her to choose one between them. But I didn't think it was the right time to do, so I held it in. And if I tell her to choose one, she will keep calling me Hyung. You can guess from the circumstances of her on the first day of our meeting, she is a little afraid of men, so I think she insists on calling herself a boy and calling me Hyung on purpose. I wonder if all of the researchers in the lab were men. But luckily, she is getting better after a few months. Maybe she's opening up because she realized that I am harmless. Even if I didn't read the original comic, I can still see that she is a girl. She seems to think that a short haircut would make her look like a boy, and that is kind of cute. Honestly, the best solution is to sneak in at night and kill him, but that's not going to work. Because of Shadow Walker, one of the few A-class heroes along with Stardust in Korea, if I do something at night, I will be caught by this guy. He is responsible for almost all the terrorism in Korea happening during the day. Such a bad guy. Without him, I could have handled all villains easily. He is a hero, so I feel guilty if I eliminate him. Also, if I eliminate him, the problem will be bigger, so I try to stay active during the day. Well, I seem to be having all sorts of thoughts as I am about to step into a real fight. It is like how I would think about different things when I sit in front of the desk during my school days. I adjusted my half mask. Okay, it is time for action. You didn't forget the plan, right? Yeah. I have to teleport to his living room, which is close by. If he is not in the living room, search quietly and shoot secretly. What if I get caught? Since I already attached the tracking device, I can go to plan B. I'm going in. I took a deep breath and prepared to teleport. And go. I teleported to that teleporter's living room. The thing that I could see as soon as I teleported here was someone's face. Oh shit. Gosh. Hyung shoot. As we were horrified at the same time, I immediately shot him with my right hand and threw the tracking device with my left hand. Bang. After my shot, this guy was out of sight. I have no idea if he was shot or not. Why was he in the living room? He ran away right away. As things turn out like this, we have to go with plan B. Seoun, did I stick the tracking device on him? Yes. Subin, please tell us where he is. Okay, right now, 500 meters to the east. You heard it, right? Hurry up and go. No, if I have to keep teleporting like this, the side effect. Hurry up. Oh, okay. I moved quickly. I estimated roughly and moved 500 meters forward. Wait, this is downtown. Aoea. What the? I got confused as I suddenly teleported to a crowded place. Wait, this is a busy street. People were surprised as a person wearing a black cape and a mask suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Oh, who is that? Appa, isn't that Ego's tick? Oh, that's right. The citizens started to recognize me. As soon as cold sweat dripped down because of my embarrassment, I heard Seoun's voice in my ears. On your right. The right? I looked to my right, and from far away, I saw a man clutching his stomach, blood dripping from his body. Oh, you were there? You also got shot. I drew a smile without myself knowing. All right. Sometimes things have to be this easy. I was about to teleport over there, but as he looked at me, he stumbled and disappeared again. All right. You were challenging me, right? An untimely teleporting chase happened in the middle of Seoul. Yes. This is the Hero Association of Korea. How may I help you? What? Ego's tick appeared in the middle of the town. Ego's tick just appeared on the street. Ha 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 ha. Picture. What is this? LOL. Oh, what's this? Ha ha. Live event on ha 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 ha. Isn't this dangerous? I really don't know. Gosh ha ha ha. Is he filming a movie? Ha ha ha. Guys, you're gonna die filming it like that. Run away. Tough Guy Special. I am filming a crime scene. Oh my god. Guys. Mango Stick is on the street. Video. Oh, what the? Is it another terrorism? So scary. No. I think he is just chasing someone. Gosh. I saw on the video someone was bleeding while moving instantly. Isn't it murder? No. He is definitely chasing a villain. The Dark Hero Mango Stick. The Dark Hero Mango Stick. Take me. What is this Mango Fan Union? Ha 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 ha. Number 1 real-time trending chart. Hashtag Ego's Tick. Huff. Huff. The teleporter, Kim Hakshul, moved his body while exhaling rough breaths. Teleportation was supposed to be very easy for him, but his condition was not normal at the moment. Holding the wound with his hand to prevent blood from flowing out his abdomen. Continuously. His vision was already clouded. His body feels heavy. He feels like he's going to die. All of a sudden, he felt a surge of anger. What did I do wrong to be in this situation? I only robbed a few banks. Of course, I killed a few people in the process, but it was their fault. He was doing so well, so why did they block him and make a fuss? He kept teleporting forward, but perhaps because his body hurt and his head was spinning. It was not easy for him to move. Normally, teleportation is only possible when the desired location or coordinates are clearly recognized in his head. However, as he was shot for the first time in his life, Kim Hakshul's consciousness has already reached a level where he cannot make a rational judgment anymore. He just went to the furthest place he could see in front of him. Honestly, even that was not easy either. It was getting cloudy in front of him. What the? R. Now he is in the middle of the town. In this crowded place, it was strange that people were not surprised when a bleeding man appeared in the crowd, flashing and flashing. But he still had to keep going forward and forward, because of that man chasing him from behind. Yes, hello. It is me, Ego's Tick. Yes. I am busy because I am working at the moment. Oh my, don't be surprised. I will not hurt you. I'm only cleaning up trash for our citizens, so please feel free to do your job. The voice from behind. The despicable one, Ego's Tick. Of course, the teleporter Kim Hakshul knew him. In fact, no one in the Republic of Korea does not know Ego's Tick, even if they only heard about him from other people. Last week on TV, on the internet, Even the people he met, everyone talked about Ego's Tick. Kim Hakshul knew what Ego's Tick cost, that he assassinated 2 villains. But he was not particularly wary of Ego's Tick. Have you ever seen anyone not going out because they are afraid of being struck by lightning? He thought perhaps those villains and Ego's Tick had some personal grudges. Rationally, he thought the guy did not kill them for no reason. So Kim Hakshul was confident. He was confident that Ego's Tick would not try to kill him. He was sure Ego's Tick knew nothing about him. And even if Ego's Tick tried to kill him, he would be able to escape with his power. But that certainty, in this moment, was betraying Kim Hakshul. Who in the world would have expected a man holding a gun to pop out and shoot him when he was resting at home? And the unexpected result was coming back to him desperately. Come on out. I'm going to catch a piece of trash today. A-class villain teleporter. Let's go to hell now. Trash goes in the trash can, and the trashy villain should go to his lord's side. Ego's Tick talked nonsense like a psychopath. He screamed out loud like a madman, as if he wanted everyone to hear it. Kim Hakshul was more afraid of those kinds of guys than anything else. To be exact, his unabated voice. Even when he was teleporting, the voice continued to be heard without diminishing. Kim Hakshul continued to move with a groan. Ugh! He slowly felt everything spinning in front of his eyes. It was a miracle to get here with a shot in the first place. If he didn't have the teleportation ability, and if his body, which could sense death, didn't ring it to his last power, he was probably already dead. But oh, sadly asterisk, I guess your life is up to here. Asterisk tien, oho tongjira, an exclamation used in a seriously distressed or sad situation. Hearing his nonsense words from behind, Kim Hakshul finally collapsed. His physical strength eventually became unable to teleport. The man exhaled a harsh breath and bowed his head. His shadow fell on him. He raised his head to identify the shadow, a villain smirking behind his half-mask. Teleporter, you told me you were guilty. Huff, huff. Save me. Please don't kill me. Oh, don't kill you. He looked around as he heard the man's words. People were surrounding them. Ego's Tick asked loudly to the surrounding citizens in a theatrical voice. Everyone, this garbage right here stole billions of other people's properties and killed 4 good citizens. Should we spare the life of someone who slaughtered someone's husband, someone's dad, someone's friend, someone's son, someone's innocent? Kill him! Kill him! The shouts of the excited citizens rang out, wanting him to be killed. Someone asked them whether Ego's Tick was trying to flood hundreds of innocent sons and daughters, but none of them said anything in front of villain with a gun, because their lives are precious. Standing in the middle of the shouting demand to kill him, Ego's Tick shrugged his shoulders as he looked down at Kim Hakshul and smirked. They're telling me to kill you, though? Please, just this time. Please have mercy on me. Really? Just this time? Yeah, just this time. Do you want me to save you? Kim Hakshul's expression brightened up instantly with the positive response from Ego's Tick. But before Kim Hakshul could speak up, Ego's Tick had already pointed his gun at him. I'm sorry, Hakshul, but there is no such thing. As soon as Ego's Tick ended his sentence with a laugh, bang, the sound of the gun rang out somewhere. That was the last memory of the A-class villain teleporter, Kim Hakshul. Phew. The teleporter died after another shot. After he died, people around us began to cheer and applaud. Thank you. Thank you. I exaggeratedly bowed my head as their applause got louder. But, guys, I am formally a villain. So, why are you guys standing around me? This world is surprisingly similar to my world, except that they have superpowers, including heroes and villains. But every time like this makes me realize that I came from a different world. When a person was shot dead right in front of your eyes, but people still clapped and enjoyed it. I mean, he was shot in front of their eyes. When someone dies, we should be scared and scream, shouldn't we? But it feels strange to see people smiling and clapping in front of a bleeding dead body as if nothing happened. They were like people who enjoyed the public executions during the Middle Ages. Honestly, I see no difference. Perhaps in this world, people have gotten used to death because of the fights between heroes and villains. Or is there another reason? No, wait. Put everything aside, I am a villain. I'm not a hero. So what am I doing? Looking back at them after a grin, I said to those who were still clapping. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. But aren't I a villain too? What are you going to do if I suddenly shoot the people standing here? People were startled and stopped after hearing my words. Okay, they seem to have regained their common sense. Now, anyway, I didn't mean to scare them, so I added. I'm just kidding, guys. I don't just randomly hurt innocent citizens. Whenever I do something, I make a notice in advance and call a hero. So don't worry. You don't have to worry. I'm just here to clean up a bad villain today. People were relieved as I explained. I mean, if you're going to be scared like that, you should not have come close in the first place. If you're done, come out. Before the heroes come. Seo-eun's voice rang from my ears. Right, it is time to go. But I am so tired after teleporting continuously, and I have to go back the same distance. I'm going to die. As I sighed and tried to get up, a loud voice came from the sky. Egos tick. Surprised by the voice, I looked up, and Stardust. Wait, why are you here? I love Stardust. Stardust. She is the star of the comic. Why do I like Stardust? Of course. She was pretty. She was not that pretty in person, but she was drawn very beautifully in the comic. Anyway, isn't it the fate of a sad creature called a man that instinctively likes a pretty woman? Also, she maintained a good gap between being a hero and being a normal person. On a daily basis, she's just a normal, slightly blunt woman, but when she's a hero, it is fun to see her saying stuff like, "You punk, what do you think you're doing?" in a unique, awkward tone. I'm not sure whether it is to distinguish her daily image from her non-daily image or to hide her usual way of speaking. But honestly, in my opinion, she probably thinks she looks cool doing it. Well, my favorite of all was her unique sense of justice. Since her parents died in an incident caused by villains when she was a child, she has been cultivating revenge and hatred for villains. The girl who dreamt of becoming a hero, but she had no superpowers, no talents. She could only wish upon the stars. Please let me awaken my powers. So, let me avenge those villains myself. Did the stars respond to her request? Because she had miraculously gained ability, awakening her superpower, and peculiarly, her hair began to turn blonde like starlight. That was how she got her name. Dust of Stars. Stardust. But the association suggested that 5 syllables are too long for a hero's name, so they shortened it to Stardust. Tien. Stardust in Korean is written as Sutedo, which has 5 syllables. Anyway, a hero's life began with revenge, but through many events, she came to realize. Hero is not a bully, but a protector of the citizens. Just like that, she became a real protector. She became a hero. As a child, I had fallen for her story. In fact, many heroes with impressive storytelling and views about justice came out, but I think she became my favorite character because she was Korean, because I could relate to her story. So why am I making such a fuss right now? Because my favorite character suddenly appeared in front of me. Egos tick. Stardust. Oh God, what is going on in this crowded place? After achieving my desired goal of eliminating Teleporter, I was about to head home. I was definitely going to kill him quietly, but I was in trouble as I overdragged an aggro. Ta-da! All of a sudden, Stardust appeared. How long have I been here for her to have the time to fly here? Unfortunately, she could not land since there were too many people, so I looked at her floating. She was covered in sweat. I guess she flew here in a hurry. Perhaps she started flying here the moment she heard that I was here. Even so, she still had time to change to her red latex suit. Egos tick, you punk. Yeah, I'm listening. Young, what are you doing? Hurry up. Gosh, Seo-eun, just give me a minute. My favorite character actually flew all the way here to see me. I want to hear what she is going to say. And so many people are here. If I just go poof dash and disappear, she would be so humiliated and embarrassed. How can I let people laugh at my Shin Haru? You just now? What have you done? Looking at Teleporter lying down at my feet, Stardust then glared at me and said, the citizens were already in position to watch the situation as if they were excited that the two of us were going to fight. People, what are you going to do if you get hurt? Wow, they're even taking out their phones to film. Wait, wasn't that person filming from earlier? That is even more serious. In front of these insensitive citizens who do not understand how dangerous the situation is, I decided to go along with Stardust for a little more. What am I doing? I just eliminated the parasites of this society. I just did what the heroes should have done. Like what your people should have done. Well, you don't have to thank me. I didn't do it to get your gratitude. Huh? You? Tendons started growing on Stardust's forehead. Her face turned red, and she was very angry. Oh, what's the matter? Did I say something bad? Her trembling body seemed about to give up her concept at any moment. Hey, calm down. I was only teasing you a little, and you already got pissed off? Before she uttered a word of anger, I quickly spoke up. Of course, I did not borrow the public power, but I did impose a private sanction. I did, but I think it needs to be taken into account. Teleporter, wasn't this brutal guy graded as Class A because of the power of his ability and the danger of his escape skill? Isn't it possible for heroes to put a judgment right away at the scene if the villain is Class A? As I finished, she spoke up as if she had been waiting. Yes, it is possible. Then, are you a hero? She seemed to want to jump at me right away and give me a slap. But as she was about to do it, she feared that either I could escape or the citizens would get in her way. I don't think I would be of any help if I stayed longer. I should slowly find a way to escape. Well, I understand what you said, Ms. Stardust. It means that the hero should be the only one to kill the trash that deserves to die, but it is meaningless if a villain like me kills them. As expected, Ms. Stardust thought has a strong sense of justice. First of all, I roughly defended Stardust. My plan is to make Stardust a popular hero. So first, compliment her. Normally, when Chulsa said, I'm good at studying, it somehow sounds unreliable. But if his rival, Young-hee, said, I don't know about other things, but I acknowledge his studying, then people will start to think, oh, Chulsu is good at studying. Nothing is more effective than compliments from your opponent. Tien, Chulsu and Young-hee is a story that appeared in Korean elementary textbooks to educate children. It was also adapted into a movie of the same name in 2005. But I guess the citizens had different opinions. What? Only heroes can catch villains. Who does she think she is? So rude. All of a sudden, tiny voices were coming out from the crowd. Excuse me, I can't hear you all. I realized this after I fell into this world. People here are crazy. Safety insensitivity is basic. A hero and a villain are confronting each other here, and they begin to defend the villain. Are they out of their minds? She just came here after everything was done. I cannot believe her. Honestly, what did egos tick do wrong? I almost lost my mind. Is the conversation I am listening to a real conversation? As the murmur surrounding us grew, Stardust's expression and mine gradually stiffened. They blamed it on Stardust, not me. The innocent Stardust began to be vilified. Why? Did people go crazy after seeing the blood? Anyway, this is not the situation I expected. I wanted a picture where I was criticized and Stardust was praised, and I never thought that it would turn out this way. Why do the citizens side with a villain? What is this? Stardust's face also began to stiffen when the public opinion turned strangely. I felt like I needed to hurry up and make up for it. Quickly, hastily I spoke up. Me too. I didn't say a word that I did a good job. I was only asking you if it is like that. I will keep doing evil stuff. I hope Miss Stardust will try to stop me. Then, I'm going to take off now. I shot out my words like a gun, then turning my cape forward, I teleported. Something is wrong. I have to escape first. After teleporting, the view in front of me was spinning. I cannot even stand properly because of my sickening stomach, and I ended up collapsing. Honestly, I've been pushing myself to catch that teleporter for a while, but my body could not hold out as I traveled a long distance again. Huff! Huff! As I collapsed, I was barely breathing. The door burst open and someone came in. Appa! It was Seo-eun. Seo-eun, who came running, grabbed me, and started whining while trying to get me up. Oh, why are you so heavy? Appa, wake up! This is not working, Yinny. Help me. Oh, I'm coming. And after a little while, Subin jumped in. Well, I guess it might be Subin. I cannot even open my eyes as it keeps falling down. Wow, I'm certainly going to die at this rate. Now, 1, 2, let's get him up. Then they began to groan while trying to get me up. Honestly, I felt like Subin was the only one holding me with only a little help from Sion. But she said nothing. And I was also in the state where I could barely say anything. Phew, please teleport right in front of the fatigue recovery capsule from now on. Sion, who eventually managed to put me in the recovery capsule, wheezed and whined to me. Yeah, I should do that next time. I cannot think straight a while ago. Thank you. If you get it, then take a rest. You look like you are dying. She grumbled and left. Subin was next to her. Get well soon. She cheered me up while holding her fist up. So adorable. I passed out just like that. I need a good night's sleep and take a rest, but my head didn't fall asleep easily because of anxiety. Because of those whispers about Stardust. Writer Anonymous. Title: Let's summarize the fact about A-class villain Egoistic Real. Eliminate the S-class villain in Zodiac. Eliminate the A-class villain Rhino. A special cruise ship's dilemma broadcast that throws tension at the boring Korean people. 0 casualties. He suppressed the terrorism by his followers and paid compensation to the hostages. Eliminate the A-class villain teleporter. For your information, the Hero Association approved that it would be hard to catch him. I don't think he is a villain, ha 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 ha. Anonymous 1, what villain? He is certainly a true hero. Anonymous 2, that's right, ha ha. Anonymous 4, honestly, Egoistic is better than Stardust. Ha ha. Anonymous 5, really? Let's be honest. What have Stardust done until now? She caught 1 or 2 A-class villains, so what? Our King Ego already caught an S-class villain. Haha. Anonymous 6, this is a bit. No matter how much you guys flatter him, bringing down a hero is too much. You went too far. Anonymous 7, Stardust fan club arrested. Anonymous 15, arrested Hespy. Anonymous 16, what is Hespy? Anonymous 17, Hero Association spy. Anonymous 6. Anonymous 8, please eliminate the villain. Please also do entertainment. Honestly, I like him, ha 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 ha. Anonymous 9, you like a terrorist. Bullshit. Anonymous 8, oh, and was there any casualties? Ha ha. Anonymous 10, so why are you guys swearing at Stardust? I really have no idea. Anonymous 11, isn't it because she's not as good as Egoistic, so people attacked her? Anonymous 12, she is the least active among the 3 A-class heroes. Ha ha. Honestly, Shadow Walker and Icicle saved hundreds of people by themselves, but Stardust has not done much so far. Anonymous 13, honestly, Stardust only has her face. Haha. Let's just lower her grade to Class B and put Egoistic as A-class hero. Anonymous 14, the Hero Association should recruit our Mango Stick as a new hero right now. Tisk. I drooled while looking at the computer screen. Things are getting worse than I thought. Did the problem start when that teleporter ran away and I had to chase after him downtown? People must have seen me as a hero who killed villains. I'm speechless. Gosh. I entered the Nax Cafe with a hazy expression. A site called Egoistic's Official Fan Cafe. Why are there so many members? The future of Korea is dark. I looked up to the air and let out a sigh. How can those people live in this nation? The people who support villains? Of course, it was a problem, but the bigger problem was Stardust. My fan club, which is strangely increasing in number, has begun to pour out criticism against Stardust. My de facto hero, Stardust. How should I say it? They seem to hate her very much. This isn't it. This is not what I expected. I never wanted it to be like this. Were they thinking about sucking up to me like this? Had they already forgotten about my cruise ships incident? Well, I got a headache after seeing someone answer an interview on YouTube. Actually, it was kind of fun. I think Korea in this world has gone crazy. I have been trying to raise the public's favor for Stardust, but I cannot believe I even lowered it. What a sinful fan I am. I made up my mind. I will show those foolish people how dreadful a villain is. And I will make them remember how pretty, righteous, sincere, adorable, and wonderful Stardust is. Seon, let's start the operation. I strode out into the living room. Seon and Subin were sitting on the sofa and watching TV. It hasn't been that long since you lie down. How are you already full of energy? Seon scolded me. I have been resting for a few days, so I'm feeling better now. The fatigue recovery capsule's function is good. I flopped down next to Seon. Subin, who was also sitting next to Seon, was watching TV while peeling an apple. Do-in, you are on TV again. Subin's eyes were sparkling as she pointed her hand at the TV. It has been about 2 weeks since we lived together, and now we are quite close. That's right. She finally realized it. What a harmless human being I am. Although she and I had a bad start, my constant gaslighting, not my constant friendliness. With my friendliness, she opened her heart to me. So it makes sense when she calls me by my name comfortably. We live in the same house, so it would be funny if she calls me Mr. Doin or Mr. Egoistic. Doin. That is my name. My name has nothing to do with Egoistic. Now, the only people I know in this world are Seoun and Subin. Of course, I am now more popular as Egoistic more than my name Doin. After exchanging my name with Subin, she became very energetic. She is doing the cooking, washing, and the dishes. Seoun and I are living comfortably without having to lift our fingers. We're not mean. Every time she says, "Let me at least do this," with teary eyes, then we have no choice but to let her do it. I'm telling you the truth. In conclusion, Subin is not scared of me anymore. That is good. Since now we are living under the same roof, it would be awkward if she is scared of me. Anyway, I looked at the TV that she pointed to. They did a topic discussion at the end of the news. The topic below, that is, Egoistic, will he be the new icon of the Gen MZ? Oh God, I never expected to see the term Gen MZ in this world either. I smacked my forehead and drooled. The term Gen MZ refers to people in their 20s and 30s. So what they mean is I'm the current icon of young people. Hey Doin, you have become popular. Seoun laughed as if she was teasing me. Yeah, I have become popular. Even in a good way. I watched TV while eating the apple that Subin peeled. Let's see what they're going to say. Subin also focused on the TV, just like me. No, she's even more focused than I am. Why are you being like that? You made me feel embarrassed. I would rather she looked at the smartphone like Seoun. It is a bit of a problem for Gen MZ to follow a villain like this. Now, even the main news on the portal, all the comments are defending Egoistic. This never happened before. Honestly, we all know that Gen MZ is not very fond of the existing heroes. I assumed it is because of the successful image they got from Luckily Awakening with abilities. People have been complaining a lot about how heroes do not do their job, and they're slow at dealing with incidents. The middle-aged man, who appeared to be the panelist, swallowed his saliva after sharing a long speech. And after asking for an excuse, he started drinking some water. Subin started taking notes while listening next to me. Subin, what are you doing? On the TV, the panelist was opening his mouth again. But the so-called Egoistic villain seemed to scratch the citizens' itchiness. Many people were unhappy that the hero did not shoot the villains and only overpowered them. They simply put those people in jail, even if they were sentenced to death. A lot of people complained that the penalty was too weak. But this Egoistic villain kills them right away? Somehow the citizens feel happy with it. But didn't he cause the cruise ship's terrorism? The panelist responded to the host's question. It already watered down from the moment he prevented the terrorism caused by his followers last time. And honestly, there were no casualties during the previous attack. That's right. I suddenly got up and shouted loudly. Sitting next to me, Seoun and Subin were surprised. You scare me. What is wrong with you? I cannot leave things like this. We need to carry out new terrorism right away. Huh? Didn't we decide to get rid of at least one villain before a new terrorist attack? When Seoun tilted her head and asked, I turned her head straight again. No, my image is getting better day by day. I cannot let it be like this. I wanted to be a villain against Stardust, not a hero all of a sudden. Anyway, we should show the Korean people what a real villain is. Right now, as I shouted with enthusiasm, Seoun's expression turned bitter. Sure, I see. So what should we do this time? Should we do that Good Samaritan you said last time? No, I'm going with something else. I need to do something more evil. Ah, all right. I guess I have to prepare a new one. Just tell me first. Well, the plan is... Stardust, just wait. I will make you popular again. Breaking news, Egoistic turned on a broadcast. Ha ha ha. Turn on your TV now. Ha 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 ha. Recommend 43. Non-recommend 0. Why? Really? Really? Something big coming, ha ha? Let's go, 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 let's go. On a windy bridge. Standing there alone, I grinned at the camera. I guess many people are watching. I shouted out loud at them. Long time no see, my fellow citizens. I am your likable villain, Ego's Tick. Now, let the show begin again. Let's see if they can still like me after this. Stardust. Shinharu. Her parents gave her that name, with the meaning of starting a new day. But these days, she can barely have a new day. Looking at her smartphone, she sighed and dropped it down. Let's be honest. What have Stardust done? Those words seemed to ring in her ears. The public opinions centered around the internet. They doubt the quality of the A-class hero, Stardust. Honestly, she was very upset. What has she done wrong? Her only crime is to save people from time to time while attending college. But the public opinions coldly stared her down. Ever since he appeared, why should she be vilified when she did as usual and only ran out when she heard Ego Tick had appeared in town? She even let him go and could not catch him properly since she was afraid the citizens would be in danger. She could not understand why people like how Ego's Tick eliminates other villains. The citizens accumulated dissatisfaction, seeing heroes only caught, and gave the diabolical villains soft punishments. The anger which used to direct at the judges had spread to the heroes before they knew it. You should have killed them on the spot. Why did they have to aim to capture them alive? Because you only captured them alive, so they still live comfortably in prison like that. It was nonsense, but complaints have already spread quietly among the citizens. And then he came out like a comet that everyone was waiting for. A man who hunts villains has appeared. That is Ego's Tick. He was the person that every Korean person has been dreaming of. Of course, he caused the cruise ship's terrorism. No, to be exact, the case should be considered as an attempt terrorist incident. He did not cause any terrorism, after all. No one pressed the button. The citizens were quickly convinced and easily backed off. And he defeated the terrorist hostage crisis at Daehoon Tower by himself. That incident was so big that it had to be buried. When other heroes were unable to do anything because of the hostages, he proudly entered the enemy camp by himself and succeeded in rescuing everyone without any death. He even gave them money. And Teleporter, who was graded as Class A because of the danger of his escape skill, was eliminated by him. The public showed their enthusiasm in many ways. It is not a coincidence that almost every community likes him and a fan cafe for him has been opened. And those who confront him will naturally become evil. And it happened to be her. Shinharu took another sip of the mango frappe in her hand. As she feels ashamed and painful, she wonders if this is why she became a hero. She was shocked to see even her close senior friend express that she likes Ego's Tick lately. Sitting by the window in the cafe, she looked out. As spring came, cherry blossoms bloomed so beautifully on the street. She doesn't even have time to go see it because of both her college life and hero life. But even so, people are cursing at her. Even in the regular meeting of the Hero Association last time, she almost fainted as the general manager said with a smile, "I am getting more comfortable these days thanks to Ego's Tick. It is not normal. Everyone except her is crazy." No, get a hold of yourself. She shook her head and decided to finish her assignment. She cannot be productive if she keeps digging into it like this. She has to do her homework. So she pulled herself together and tried to finish the assignment, until she got a call at this time. "Stardust, turn on the TV right now. Ego's Tick is back. He pointed you out again." Her face stiffened. Perhaps it is time for work again. Shinharu immediately kicked her seat and hurried out. No matter what people say, she is a hero. She is on her way to do her job. Long time no see, my fellow citizens. It is your likable villain, Ego's Tick, on a cliff with a panoramic view of the railroad. I greeted the camera. I'm going to be broadcasted live on everyone's TV again. Actually, I think even with just a live stream on YouTube, the terrestrial TV will broadcast it on its own. This time I hijacked the waves again. Why? Because it can show my potential. Since the last hijacking incident, the broadcasting companies seem to have paid a lot of attention to the security, but it is nothing more than a useless decoration to me. Well, I actually did nothing. Sion did it all. But who would know that? Bowing my head, I looked at the hologram with my right eye hidden behind a mask. Using a high technology made by Sion, it has a function that allows me to see holograms in front of my eyes like the suit in Iron Man's world. But the important thing is that there was no software to put into this function. So I opened the chat window from the YouTube live broadcast. I opened it. The big one is coming. 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 Egos tick live on. Ha 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 ha. I was bored, but a fun event came. Ha ha ha. What crazy stuff is he planning to do today? Ha ha ha. Ego high, meaning egostic high. Let's go, let's go. Mango stick. 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 But I already regret it. Do they think this is a surprise event? I check my reflection on the camera. As always, I am wearing my suit in black from head to toe. I am wearing a gray half mask on my face, which is my symbolic appearance. Honestly, I wanted to wear a black wizard hat here, but I could not because Sion refrained from that. Next time, I'm going to use it secretly. Anyway, let's keep talking. I have been getting a lot of news lately. Yes, a lot of them are coming in. A lot of people like me. I saw my fan cafe too. Gosh, it is very fascinating. Ha, I said with an awkward laugh. I scratched my head and laughed. But all of a sudden, my face got serious. But I think you guys are misunderstanding something. I spoke with my low voice and walked to the edge of the cliff. The camera followed me and slowly approached me. I controlled all of it with my telekinesis. Phew, I am lucky to have this telekinetic power. Or I had to hire a personal cameraman. How awkward would it be to look at the cameraman on this cliff while bragging? Keeping my low voice, I continued while looking at the edge of the cliff. I'm a criminal, guys. Do they use the word villain these days? Anyway, that's me. I think a lot of people forgot that I am a villain who eliminated other villains for my vulgar satisfaction. Not for you guys. This brat, he is such a tsundere asterisk www. Tien. Tsundere is a term for people who act rude, cold, and hostile towards the people they care about in order to conceal their warm and caring feelings. I almost fell off the cliff when I saw the chat window. Can I turn this off in the middle? I should tell Sion to make an OFF function after this. I almost lost my mind, but I am a professional. I spoke up without changing my expression. In that sense, I have prepared another great project. I think you guys are not scared of me yet. Now, everyone, can you see the railroad far away? I fixed the camera to the track side of the train with my telekinesis. The tracks were straight all the way, but there was a forked road that extended to the other side in the middle. And the camera showed how people were tied up at the end of the track. Ha 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 ha. Can you see this? The chat window turned upside down in an instant. Yes, this is it. This is it. Fear me more. I tie them up. People on the track. This place where the train runs straight. 5 innocent people are being tied up here. And the place where the train goes out. Only one person is tied up at that crossroads. If this train keeps running straight, it will run over 5 people. But do you see the lever over there? If you pull that, the lever will change the track. So the train is going to hit only one person who is tied up there. I think I saw this somewhere. Isn't this the trolley dilemma? Tien, also known as the trolley problem. A series of thought experiments in ethics and psychology. Trolley dilemma? For real? I could not help but look at the chat window. Oh, so people in this world also know about the trolley dilemma, unlike in The Dark Knight. Still, I guess no villains have done this yet. I swallowed a sigh of relief. Should we turn the lever? I'm not going to switch it. FYI, stopping the train is not an option. I switched the screen shown by the camera. Now, a view of the engine room in the running train is shown. The driver there was unconscious and collapsed. A masked woman was driving the train. Yes, that is Subin. Thank you, Subin. If you do something stupid, you might flip the train, so please keep that in mind. The only option is to turn the lever or not. Well, I will stop talking. Miss Stardust, please come. I will keep an eye on your moral judgment. Okay, the situation is all set. Now, Shinharu, you just need to come. Stardust again. At this point, this is true love. I completely ignored the chat window. Terrorism. It sounds like a simple thing to do where you just need to throw a bomb. But in reality, it's complicated as it requires a lot of design and planning. Although I have caused only 2 large-scale terrorist attacks, I can assure you that it's true. Probably. People were tied to the tracks that the train passes. It sounds so easy. Or does it? You might think that we can just kidnap a person and tie him up. But when you do it for real, it's not easy at all. Firstly, it was hard to find people that allowed me to tie them up. How uncomfortable would I feel if I tied up real citizens and killed them by mistake? Even though I've already gotten a lot of blood on my hands, I haven't been able to sleep at night after doing it. I was only an ordinary law-abiding citizen of South Korea not too long ago, so I picked out some rotten ones. Those who got off with a slap on the wrist, even after committing a felony. It was somewhat easy to kidnap them because they were still living like trash. Even though I succeeded in kidnapping them, tying them to the tracks was also a big problem. Actually, it's somehow similar to the kidnapping part. There are too many CCTVs in Korea. They don't install them all over the place because of privacy violations, but sometimes they arrange them cautiously. Of course, I can avoid CCTV with my teleportation and the help of Seo-eun's hacking skills, but tying people to the tracks. In Korea, because there is that invincible hero, Shadow Walker, I will be in big trouble if I get caught doing something at night. It would be fine if various terrorist attacks happen at the same time, since Shadow Walker cannot deal with all of them at once. But because all villains are cowards, it would be a big problem if they went out alone at night. TSK. I teleported and tied people up in broad daylight. It's embarrassing and weird. Even if there was no CCTV, the day is bright, I'm not sure how to feel about it. And the train. Honestly, I know my sin is big, but since the previous cruise ship bombing and the building bombing of my followers, explosives inspections have been tightened everywhere, so I cannot install bombs on the train. So Subin had no choice but to get to work. She anesthetized the train driver and drove the train herself. Subin, I'm certain that she had no friends and only stayed at home since she was young, but she knows how to drive everything. From a helicopter to a train, an excavator, and even a plane. I asked her how she could do it, and I almost fainted as she said she learned it through a computer simulator. Rationally, it made no sense to me at all, but I decided to accept that fact as I found out that she started studying for the CSAT a week before and was still able to get into Seoul National University. That's right, geniuses surely are different from me. I thought she was similar to me since she was so timid, but I forgot that she was also a genius who could have a technical conversation with Seo-eun. Am I the only normal one here? That's so sad. Anyway, we let Subin drive the train. It will be difficult for us if the driver suddenly stops or drifts the train to avoid hitting people. And if that happens, she will derail the train and die. It takes time, effort, and insurance to start terrorism. As I always say, I have a fragile body that can be killed instantly with just one punch from Stardust. I told her to pull the lever, but I can say farewell to this world when she pulls my spine. That's why I must have insurance. The first insurance is for Subin, who might have to derail the train. And the second insurance is for installing the bomb at the place where I tied those people in case Stardust attacks the train. Nothing is easy. Still, at least if I do it like this, I can show the citizens what a dangerous villain I am. I can raise Stardust favorability again. I, Dao-in, can sacrifice myself for my favorite character. And just in time, she's coming here. With her blonde hair flying, Stardust is coming in her red latex suit that I have no idea how she had time to change. It's the same feeling every time I see her, how pretty she is. Will I ever be able to date a girl who is as beautiful as Stardust? I don't think so, probably. Of course, Subin's beauty is also pretty comparable to Stardust. Even so, anyway, it's time to get back to the concept. Although I can feel my hands and legs getting shaky, I already chose this concept. Protecting her by being evil. Oh, the star of the day. Miss Stardust, you are finally here. I clapped my hands and greeted Stardust. She landed a little far from me. You punk. What the hell are you doing? Well, actually my concept is not the only weird thing. I didn't notice it when I read the comic, but after hearing it directly from Stardust, you and I, we both picked the wrong concept. Don't you think so? Hearing an ordinary female college student like Shin Haru speak in a historical drama tone in modern times is weird. Of course, I'm also not a pushover. Ha 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 ha. What am I doing? I just wanted to see if you could make a moral choice. You punk. Do you think that you'll be fine if you slaughter citizens like that? Citizens not. Killing. Haven't done it. That Stardust. Why is she trying to slander our Mango stick like that? Really? Do you really think that his name is Mango? Me likey. You mean who? I mean I like Stardust. I'm being sarcastic. I don't like her. Didn't you say that you liked Egostick? I think you do mean that you like her. What the fuck? Why are there two meanings for like? Judge it based on the context. This dude, I guess it's your first time seeing slang in the community. You cannot get yourself together. www asterisk tn. It is used to express laughter. Release Kim Sunwoo. 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 Stop leaving comments. I hate seeing Stardust's face. I checked the chat window one more time, and even in this situation, they're even more abusive towards Stardust. No, I have to hurry up and turn the table. I spoke up in an exaggerated voice. Well, that's not the problem. Right now, the train is coming, and the problem is it's going to hit 5 people. Why don't you go over there and quickly decide whether to pull the lever or not? I could see veins growing on Stardust's forehead as I spoke in a sarcastic tone. Is there any reason why I should not just leave you here? What? Of course, there is a reason. You know what this is, right? I quickly pulled the detonator out of my robe. Did I not explain this yet? Probably not yet. Now, can you see this? If I press it, all 6 of them will be wiped out. And if I die, my men who are driving the train will not stay still, right? So you better calm down. Stardust did not seem to like it very much, but she seemed convinced. Phew, that was close. But I don't have time right now. I think the train is almost here. Now, breaking news, the train is getting close. As soon as I finished, I teleported to the lever under the cliff. Looking up at the cliff from below, Stardust was looking around to find me, but then flew toward the lever a little later. Now, it's time to make a choice. What will you do? If you don't turn the lever, the 5 people who are tied up there will die. Nua, don't go there. You can just derail the train. Yes, lever. If you turn the lever, only 1 person will die. Please decide quickly whether to sacrifice 1 to save 5. Quickly finishing my words, I climbed back up the cliff. On the cliff, the camera filmed Stardust, who is thinking hard in front of the lever, and the sound of a train coming in right away can be heard. Now, the train to Pinnacle Asterisk is coming in. What choice will our Stardust make? Asterisk TN. In the video game Valorant, the term is used when a single player eliminates 5 players and becomes an ace. She has to turn the lever. If she turns the lever, Stardust will be the one who kills that 1 person, right? If she stays still, she will be innocent, but if she turns the lever, she will kill someone with her own hands. It will be the right choice if she turns it, because she will save 4 people in a utilitarian way. Even in the chat window, people are having mixed opinions. Still, everyone seems to expect Stardust to turn the lever. Yeah, everyone certainly would think that way. But I know, the Stardust I know is not that kind of person. The train is just around the corner. Stardust, who is suffering in front of the lever, did not pull the lever in the end. She then clenched her fist and started running toward the train. Go in. She is running towards me. What should I do? I heard Subin scream from my in-ear. She must be looking at Stardust running straight to her from the engine room. I hurriedly muted the camera I was filming and told her, "Don't worry. She is not coming to hurt you. Probably, she is going to try blocking the train with her body." All right, if it's the Stardust I know, the most righteous Shin Haru, I knew she would choose a path that no one would get hurt. Now, I'm going to make her stand out that way. After taking the camera off mute, I screamed while tearing my hair out with my hands. No way. What the hell is Stardust doing? Oh my God. I screamed like a pterodactyl, and I could feel the pain in my throat right away. Stardust, are you watching? I'm so screwed up for you. The train is moving fast. What will happen if the train properly hits a person? Well, most people would have the same thought. That person is going to break into pieces. That is a common thought. In that sense, what do you think when you see someone running toward an oncoming train? You are not able to think much other than, these days, people try so many ways to suicide. The view that I'm looking at now is the same. A slender woman is running straight to the train. But I have faith in her. I believe that she will not be shattered. But this is not the time for me to say so. It's time to be exaggerated. I made a fuss at the sight. No. Is that even possible? If you do that, you will be shattered. Did Stardust finally go out of her mind? I know Stardust is an A-class hero, but can she handle that? No, I don't think Stardust will be able to handle it. I saw the data posted by the Hero Association. The maximum amount of her physical strength is less than that train crash. What will happen? I said that she should have chosen either 1 or 5 deaths, but it seems like we will have 6 deaths. Wait, Ms. Stardust, why are you trying to kill yourself? Stop. I'm screaming on the cliff, loud enough for Stardust to hear me. I was only watching Stardust running into the train in vain. But the chat window is heating up. Koitsu Star. Why is he panicking over meeting a mad woman? www. *tn. This brat. It is actually a Japanese word, but Koreans use it as slang. He only recreated a dilemma, but someone is committing suicide. Ha 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 ha. Why is Mango Stick frozen? He became an ice mango. www. I think they should upgrade him to an S-class villain. He can eliminate an A-class hero by doing nothing. Ha 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 ha. These crazy brats. If Stardust dies, we are doomed too. It's not time for you guys to laugh. Isn't Stardust in charge of Seoul? I don't live in Seoul, so it doesn't matter. Ha 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 ha. As long as it's not me, ha 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 ha. This is not my intention. I muttered bitterly. To be exact, I'm pretending to be bitter. Not my intention, my ass. Of course, this is my intention. With Stardust's personality, there is no way that she would let anyone sacrifice. She would rather sacrifice herself. Stardust. Shinharu. Shinharu goes through many hardships in the original comic. All kinds of extraordinary villains do their best and try various ways to kill Stardust. In the process, Shinharu's body and mind become tattered. Even though she is more righteous than anyone else, she constantly suffers. On the first day that I realized that I had stepped into this strange world, I made a promise. Let's relieve Stardust, Shinharu's pain. But there is a tiny problem. Like any hero in the hero movies, Shinharu also gets stronger as she goes through hardships. The more exhausted your mind is, the stronger your ability will get. And the harder your body is, the stronger your ability will also get. A grass-like character who overcomes hardships. But the thing is, the odds are fading as I decide to remove villains instead of her. She has to suffer, but she doesn't suffer because of me. If she does not suffer, she cannot become stronger. And if she cannot get stronger, there will be a lot of trouble. As I said before, the world which was made up in the original comic will become power inflation. Obviously, Korea, where appropriate heroes and appropriate villains are gathered, becomes a story of villains becoming insanely stronger over time and Stardust also becoming insanely stronger. And the U.S. In this worldview, the United States is always in a state where it seems to be able to turn into a mess in 5 minutes. Korea is the world's #1 in having no S-class hero, and also a country that has the most S-class villains. A country where all kinds of incidents and accidents happen every day. In the second half of the story, some kind of deity appears, and also the world has to face global destruction, which even the S-class people in the U.S. cannot stop, but my Stardust prevents them all. I have been talking for too long, but the bottom line is that Stardust have to suffer and get stronger to prevent the end of the world. And now I'm the one who has to give her the hardships. Wouldn't it be better for Stardust to suffer from me, who is in charge of a systematic and well-organized hardship curriculum, rather than suffering from those unpredictable villains that only cause casualties to the citizens and property damages? Anyway, I'm better than them. And the first of my hardship gift set is blocking the train, which is coming right away. Yeah, it can be hard. It can be hard, but we will be able to withstand it for one day. Stardust, cheer up. At that moment, Stardust crashed into the train. Bump. A tremendous roar that can be heard all the way here. Ea. Also, Subin scream. I'm so sorry, Subin. Please hang in there a little longer. I watched the sight with my mouth open. Through a cloud of dust, the train kept running. However, it's certainly slowing down, because someone is pushing at the front. The squeaking train, which was slowing down, finally managed to stop just right in front of those 5 people. It works. It stopped. Phew, I secretly sighed. Hold on. Stardust is okay, right? I looked there with my fist clenched. She made it, right? She definitely made it. There is no way my Stardust would collapse because of this. That's right, she definitely made it. I gulped down my saliva without myself knowing. An unprecedented situation. The dust began to clear out. I somehow started to feel anxious. What if she died? Oh, then that cannot happen. A horrifying moment. Before I knew it, all the dusty clouds were cleared up. What appeared in it was the image of Stardust standing firm. I opened my clenched fist and shouted without realizing it. Yes. I mean, oh, you made it. You made it. Wow, you made it. Yeah, this is not what I planned, but, well, all right. You solved this dilemma in your own way. All right. Did he just yell yes? Ha 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 ha. Doesn't he look happier than anyone else since Stardust is okay? I knew it from the moment this mango stick killed the other villains and wrote Stardust's name. He is Stardust #1 fan all this time. WWWWWW. What the fuck? Yes, he said. Ha ha. Ego Stick is so cute. Wow, but Stardust made it. How did she do that? Wasn't the speed like 140? How can a person withstand that? Not a person. She is a hero. Stardust. 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 Mom, I'm going to become Stardust when I grow up. Mom, I'm going to become Stardust when I grow up. Mom, I'm going to become Stardust when I grow up. Seriously, ha. I thought Stardust would be cursed whether she turns the lever or not, but she solved it like this. Ha 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 ha. Those who cursed at Stardust, come out right now. Ego's Tick still caused 0 casualties. Is this for real? Ego's Tick is really a legend. I'm asking the association to appoint Ego's Tick as an A-class hero. The reactions in the chat window are also very good. Yeah, this is it. Stardust deserves this. I'm relieved. Good. Even though there were also 0 casualties this time, there will be more people who will fall out of me. Yes, I can take this much sacrifice for my Stardust. Right at the moment I was so moved by myself, I could see Stardust collapsing in the distance. Oh, I immediately went to Stardust. Stardust collapsed on the floor, covering in dust. She could barely open her eyes, and she was wheezing. She looked like she was about to pass out. You punk. Stardust called me in an exhausting voice. Looking at how she looked like she was about to faint, I felt a little sorry. I made her suffer because she had to, but I feel sorry for making it hard on her like this. Before she faints, I should at least say something. I sat on one knee beside her and spoke up. Yes, Stardust. Good job. In a way that I could have never imagined. I didn't expect you to save everyone in that way. It's your victory. I'm going to take off now, so get some rest. There will be other heroes coming soon. As I whispered, I reached out one hand and closed her eyes. She tried to resist for a while, but as soon as her eyes closed, she seemed to have completely lost her strength as she breathed heavily. But eventually, she fell asleep. Yeah, it must have been hard for her. I stood up and turned around, then said goodbye to the camera. All right, that was my terrorism for today. Thank you for watching. Everything seems quiet now. I should pick up the fainted Subin in the engine room and head home. After my ending greeting, I turned off the camera. As soon as the broadcast was turned off, the chat ended. What was that between the two of them? That was the last comment. In that night, a love scandal between Ego's Tick and Stardust broke out. Is this really Korea? If you tie people to the rail and just leave the train running, it will hit 5 people, but if you turn the lever, only the one that was tied on the other track will be hit. So will you turn the lever? Ego's Tick made a dilemma. In fact, it's a quite philosophically well-known dilemma. The so-called trolley dilemma. If the train keeps running, it hits 5 people. But if you turn the lever, it only hits 1 person. In a utilitarian way, it's right to turn the lever, since 4 people can be saved. But can you really turn it? It's a sad accident when the train hits 5 people. In this world, they might consider it as a sad terrorist attack. But if you turn the lever, it's not an accident anymore. It's an accident when 5 people die, but once the lever is turned, you will be the one who killed that one person. The one who didn't have to die will die because you turned the lever. Well, it's this kind of dilemma. And I embodied this dilemma in the real world. Stardust had made a brilliant breakthrough by taking action from a situation that cannot be solved in a verbal dilemma. She did not even think about where to turn the lever and head the train. She stepped up and stopped the train herself. Stardust has superpower. She is different from a man with double abilities like me. She is powerful, and she can fly in the sky at the same time. They're called superhuman strength and flying ability, to be exact. She also has double abilities, so her abilities are a little flawed like me. Of course, not as much as I am. For superhuman strength, the one that has this ability only can collapse buildings alone. The same thing for the one who has flying ability only. That person can fly at Mach speed in the sky. Of course, both are heroes in the US. Stardust isn't at the same level as them. She's powerful, but not enough to make a building collapse in one punch, and she cannot fly at a supersonic speed. And of course, as the ones who have double abilities, we still have some flaws, but she's much better than I am. Still, it's true that she's a little lacking. Of course, people with double abilities are pretty rare, and the superhuman strength and flying ability are very compatible, so that's why she got graded as Class A, but there are at least 2% of disappointment. But she's the main character of this comic. The unique characteristic that differs from others is the improvement of her abilities. The ability that helps her go through hardships and adversity to become stronger. That's why I arranged an event for her to strengthen her muscles. Make Stardust great again. Honestly, she wasn't able to stop the running train, but when the actual situation came, she was filled with the desire to save every person. And her favorability has also improved. Somehow her popularity, which dropped after confronting me, has risen again because of this chance. Her action of throwing herself like a clamp to block the train has impressed people who watched it on television across the country. It was good that people started to like Stardust again. But why did a love scandal break out? I'm watching TV in vain. After the rebellion, I teleported home and woke up after a good night's sleep on the fatigue recovery capsule. Sion grabbed my hand and dragged me to watch TV. She sat me on the sofa. The big title of today's show is shown on TV. Ego's Tick, Stardust Love Scandal. What the hell is this? I shouted as soon as I saw what was on the TV. But no matter what I said, people on the TV already started saying what they wanted to say. Hello, this is the weekly entertainment show. These two are the hottest topics these days, right? Villain Ego Tick, which is the most popular in Korea at the moment, and the rising hero Stardust. Their love scandal is sweeping the Korean entertainment industry these days. Reporter Park, how did it lead to this love scandal? An entertainment program on terrestrial TV. The female anchor asked the question to the male reporter, who looks somewhat like a professional. Yes, we can see it from Agostic's actions. Suddenly, the man brought out a panel from below and put it in front of him. There are stickers on the white panel, an impressive pink text that are written in pink at the top. Ego's Tick, Stardust. The first reason is Ego's Tick openly chasing for her love. He took the white sticker off the panel. I could see letters and pictures which were folded inside. 1. Agostic's love letter. The man continued with a serious look on his face. Speaking with such an expression, he was wearing a suit and horn-rimmed glasses. He looked like a CEO reporting the performance at the general shareholders meeting. Of course, what came out of his mouth is nothing but a ridiculous rumor. Agostic's first step was killing S-Class villain in Zodiac and A-Class villain Rhino. But that's not the main point. This is what matters. He pointed to the picture on the panel he was holding. In the picture, you can see the letters that were written in blood. The letters were written like this. Death to a worse man than me. Death to someone weaker than me. To you, Stardust. Today's phrase, which the reporter probably does not know, was the result of me, who chose a concept to go with and committed the crime for the first time in this world, rushing without knowing how far I should keep my concept. Perhaps because it was my first time, I was very motivated. And perhaps because it was my first murder, I was too drunk on my emotions as I did drug myself a bit before that. I have seen it somewhere before, and I thought it was cool, so I wrote it down in my blood. But in that sober state, I couldn't realize how cheesy it would be. Now, I'm still adjusting the cheesiness in my concept, but anyway, since I thought it was cool, I wrote it down and things turn out like that. Gosh, honestly, at first, I was proud of myself because of the perfect rhyme that I wrote. Of course, I realized how strange it was when Sohn burst out laughing as soon as she saw it. Now, it has become my dark past. Every time someone mentions it, I blush so hard. I think I'm a little traumatized because Seo-eun keeps teasing me like, death to someone weaker than me, blah blah. Anyway, now that Reporter has finally revealed the dark past that I wanted to erase so badly. Looking to my side, Seo-eun is bursting into laughter again. I feel relieved that Subin is not next to me. The Reporter analyzed my dark past with a very serious expression. Now, can you see these words here? It's a message left at the scene himself after Egoistic committed his crime. The thing that we should notice is, again, the last line, to use Stardust. In fact, from the beginning, Egoistic consistently was hitting on Stardust. He eliminated the villains and gave them to Stardust as gifts. He is actually openly chasing after her. I didn't give them to her as gifts, I was just trying to drag an aggro. What if I worked hard on doing bad things, but they assigned some weird hero instead of Stardust? That is why I refer that note to Stardust to drag an aggro. Do they know how much Stardust hates vigilantes? The second reason is the terrorist attacks. Honest, we can barely call Egoistic's terrorism as a proper terrorism, because the results show 0 casualties. It's worth nothing in both of his attacks. He only triggered Stardust, and she handled both of them excellently. The scene of my terrorist attacks came out on the screen. They were showing the footage where Stardust spoke to the people on the ships and blocked the train by herself. She looks cool. And what Egoistic said afterward is also very significant. Let's listen to it. And now my voice is coming out. That is what I said to her while I was wondering after the ship terrorism was defeated. Check the previous episodes. It was because of you. Everyone suddenly became united after your speech. Okay, all right. I guess I underestimated you. It was something that no one else could do. You wouldn't just enlighten the public with a single word, right? Oh, I said that. Before my confusion went away, another voice came out. This time, it was what I told her in the previous train attack. Yes, Miss Stardust. Good job. I did not expect you to save everyone in a way that I could never have imagined. It's your victory. The reporter, who was quietly listening to my voice, suddenly jumped out of his seat. Ignoring the surprised anchor, he began to shout loudly. Look at this. If this is not love, what is it then? When Mango Stick said that last sentence and closed Stardust's eyes, Stardust fell asleep soundly. If they're not dating, then how do you describe dating? He started screaming, tearing his hair out. That crazy guy. Am I really watching a terrestrial broadcast? What the hell is this? I screamed as I picked up the remote control and threw it at the TV. Seo-eun, who was watching next to me, has been laughing for so long that she can hardly breathe. The camera suddenly turned to the surprised anchor looking at the reporter, then finally switched to commercials. The caption, checking the broadcast, was put on the screen, so I guess it was a broadcasting accident. Fuck yeah. Who would call me Mango Stick on a show? I can only hang my head low and feel frustrated, no matter how hard I think about it. The Republic of Korea is crazy. I found out later that the reporter was a member of my passionate fan club, commonly referred to as Mango Union. Although he faced a relegation due to the sudden accident, he received a bonus rather than disciplinary action as the show recorded a high rating. Seriously, the world is coming to an end. Shin Haru threw the remote control toward the TV. Of course, if she put all her strength into throwing it, her new UHD TV could be smashed, so she kept that in mind and threw it as gently as possible. Of course. Bump. It hit the wall. Ha. She wheezed. After calming herself down, she sat on the sofa and took some time to think. How many years has she been a hero under the name of Stardust? The first time she got her abilities was probably around middle school or high school, so she's been a hero for a pretty long time. She was determined to be a hero who could throw villains into prisons to get revenge for her late parents. But even then, she had never imagined this before. Dating a villain? Shin Haru sighed and headed to the refrigerator. She needs something sweet because she is so frustrated. She naturally took out a cool juice box and drank it, and when she checked the name on the juice box, she frowned. Minute Maid Mango. Mango. Now, Mango reminds her of that egoistic brat. Egoistic supporters call him Mango Stick, right? Ugh. She felt like her mind was corrupted. Her favorite thing is mango. Honestly, she hates mango itself, but she likes mango-flavored things like mango juice, mango frappe, and mango shaved ice. But now, she can never see mango like how she saw it before. Every time she sees a mango now, she will think of that mango stick. My mind is corrupted. She was slightly depressed. Although a person's perception changes from time to time as life goes on, she has never imagined that it would change in this way. She decided to get some fresh air out of the window. She opened the window and put her head out. A cool spring breeze blows by. The bright sunlight reflected on her blonde hair. She gave a dreamy performance, as if it was twinkling. The men, who casually looked up from the street, gazed at her, but she did not notice. She had a lot on her mind, and the main idea in her thought is definitely that egoistic guy. Egoistic. She thought it was a funny name. Egoistic. Doesn't it remind you of a weak old man walking with a stick? Of course, she told that to her close older friend and received a pitiful gaze from her, so she decided to keep that idea for herself from now on. She was surprised at herself as she thought about how egoistic would be a better name than egoistic. Why the hell is she considering a villain's name for that guy? She shook her head off the idea. Still, she couldn't help but feel disturbed whenever she thought of egoistic, something that she cannot explain in words. Complex emotions fill her up. They become a mass of irrepressible thoughts, then rise and disappear in her mind. And she thought it was weird. Obviously, when you think of an evil villain, you have to think of hatred and disgust. But why do these complex emotions come to her mind? Among many emotions, there certainly were other things that weren't hatred or disgust. Egoistic. He is well known on the internet right now. No, not only is he well known on the internet, but also in real life. Even her close friend Chai Yun said she joined the Mango Union last time. In the chat room where students from her department gather, people sometimes mention Mango Stick, but they were all talking good about him. She asked how everyone can be like that after watching the live stream of the train attack. At first, they covered up for Egoistic, saying that both attacks caused 0 casualties. Later, when they revealed that all the people who were tied to the rail were those who committed terrible crimes and got off with a slap on the wrist, people blindly began to praise Egoistic again. People joke around about how Stardust didn't have to stop the train. Honestly, Korean people's enthusiasm for Egoistic has already reached the level of fanaticism. For the people who have only eaten sweet potatoes asterisk so far, Egoistic, who has been making them feel so refreshing with his actions, is so popular that they even made a catchphrase for him. Please, if you are Korean, let's support Egoistic. Asterisk TN. This phrase refers to frustrating people and the love scandal she saw earlier. Ugh, she could feel her face burning up. The blood letters, his terrorist attacks, and so on, every actions of him so far. They are all because he likes her? What nonsense! She shouted in spite of herself. Why on earth does he like her? Because of her face? Yeah, probably that's the reason. There is no other explanation other than that. As expected, Egoistic must also be one of those who are only into her face. But there is one thing for sure. She looked down at her hand and clenched her fist. She definitely strengthened her muscles. After stopping the train last time, she definitely has gotten stronger. It's good to be stronger. It's what she has always aimed for. I don't know. As much as she didn't know why she was confused herself, she let out a sigh. But one good thing is that her haters disappeared after this incident. Honestly, she was more concerned than anyone else while pretending not to care about the reaction of the public. So she was quite relieved that the public began to like her again. Honestly, she dropped her favorability because of Egoistic, but also thanks to Egoistic, it went up again. It feels like Egoistic is shaking her life. In fact, it must not be wrong to say so, because she was assigned to deal with Egoistic from the superior office. As she was feeling upset, her phone rang. The caller is Kim Chae-yun, a senior student who she is close with in university. Hello. Oh, Haru. Do you want to hang out? The weather is nice. Hang out. Hang out. Come to think of it, she doesn't hang out with her friends a lot. Studying and working as a hero. There wasn't enough time to do both. But her friend asked her to hang out. Usually, she would reject the offer. She had no time to relax since she had to study and work as a hero at the same time. At the beginning, she was so busy that she couldn't even sit in the association's office for too long, even though she likes it because it's sunny from where she sits. But she's been worried about ego's tick these days. The suggestion to hang out was quite tempting. Oh, sure. When should we go? Today. What do you think? There is a festival. I've always wanted to go there. Oh, festival sounds good. Today. I do have time. See you later then. But what festival is it? Ice cream festival. It sounds fun, right? Yeah. Was there an ice cream festival in the world? She thought to herself. A Seoul where buildings crammed up, cars roamed around, and people busily moved around. Far away from it, there was our underground base. Ego's tick, a villain who terrorizes the whole Korea. Han Seo-eun, a genius hacker who can destroy Korea's network system with just one finger. Lee Soo-bin, an all-around assistant who is good at hacking, housework, and driving. This place where all three of us are gathered is called Ego Base. Although it's located deep underground, it's a cozy place with LED lights that can replace the sun. Sometimes I like resting at home. Didn't I live too busily these days? It's not easy for me, who is an ordinary citizen, to act as a villain. I was a little nervous because thousands of people were watching me on the last broadcast. Every word of mine will be on the news. I mean, they already wrote news about the last time when I accidentally cheered yes while watching stars stop the train. They mostly wrote about our love scandal. Those trashy reporters. They are so quick-witted. Anyway, there's nothing good about dragging an aggro too often. These days, I'm resting at home idly. What I usually do is play with Seo-eun. She's a senior in middle school, and she doesn't have any friends. How bored must she be? Soo-bin joined us to play either board games or Switch. Even though she said this was something only kids would play, it was cute to see her having fun together in our living room. Yeah, kids should play like kids. Looking at the computers too much is not good for them. Anyway, it's just another day of us staying still and resting. While watching TV, I was eating the apple that Soo-bin peeled, and Seo-eun, who was doing something in her room, rushed to me. Then, she showed me something and asked me to go with her. Ice cream festival? Yeah, I told you last time. That's today. We have to go. Seo-eun was talking with her sparkling eyes. Soo-bin, standing next to her, also seems to want to go. Yeah, come to think of it, I might have heard of it. The 13th International Ice Cream Festival. I have never heard of anything like this in the original comic. Seo-eun is explaining to me that it's their first time holding it in Korea, and there are so many things to see. I felt a little strange because I had never heard of an ice cream festival in my life. Seo-eun likes to stay at home the most because she likes staying inside like me. But since she asked me to go with her first, I guess she really wanted to go. Do you really like ice cream that much? All right, let's go. Go and get changed. I shouted as I stood up. Well, nothing's going to happen, right? The weather is nice. At this place, where the warm spring breeze blows by. The last time I came out to terrorize was already last week. I haven't been out since, and I have been stuck in the house. So it has been a long time since I came out. On the way to the festival, Seo-eun and Soo-bin were walking on the street after a while. Oh, it has not been a long time for Soo-bin. She has always been back and forth for grocery shopping. Anyway, I felt better since I could see the sun after a long time. Seriously, people sometimes need to sunbathe like this. In the sun, what is that called again? I heard someone say that it contains vitamin D. So you cannot stay inside for too long. Appa, are you wearing black again? Seo-eun is scolding me again. I have known this since we have lived together for quite a long time. But there is a standard for Seo-eun calling me between Hyung and Appa. She usually calls me Hyung, but she only calls me Appa when she wants to ask for a favor or when she feels good. Can't you just call me Appa? Honestly, I think she will call me Appa if I grab and scold her. But I certainly don't want to go that far, because it would make us feel awkward and distant. I will wait until the day she opens her heart. Someday, she will constantly call me Appa for good, right? I'm sure that day will come. Anyway, I'm happy to hear her calling me Appa, because she's in a good mood now. But why am I wearing black again? I check my clothes. I'm wearing a black coat. Normally, I would wear it underneath. The coat is covered, so no one will see anyway. But as a result, I'm wearing all black like when I'm egoistic again. No, I look the best in black. I decided to tell Seo-eun the truth that she did not know. Seo-eun, black is for men. What do you mean? Seo-eun said it with a smile. Huh, she's not usually this bright. I'm quite surprised since I have been waiting for her to throw away that contemptuous face. I guess she's really in a good mood now, as she hums along the way. Seo-eun, so you were really into ice cream. Or is she feeling good because it's been a while since she went out? Subin was also smiling happily while covering her mouth as she found how cute Seo-eun was. Perhaps because of Seo-eun's unique silver hair, people are glancing at her. And Subin is also a pretty girl, so even if she is just walking on the street, people begin to pay attention to her. What's wrong with them? FYI, the first time Subin was on broadcast, she put on a direct recognition filter. Of course, the direct recognition filter itself is a function that makes people who see them limited to their faces into facial recognition disorders, so it doesn't work for me, who already knows how Subin looks. It's fascinating now that I think about it. I just have to wear a mask and a filter on all kinds of shows, and then I can confidently walk around with my bare face. Subin must have the filter on whenever she goes out. FYI, this direct recognition filter is also the crystal of the latest technology. An American genius researcher invented it saying, "Until when do the heroes have to wear weird tight masks? When they put it on as a decoration, the direct recognition filter works on their faces for a certain period of time. There's one in each office of the Hero Association, and somehow Seo-eun looked at the design and recreated it. So there's another one in our underground base. Thank you, Seo-yumin asterisk. Tien, Seo-eun plus Doraemon equals Seo-yumin. If I don't have this filter, I'm doomed. Subin could not go grocery shopping either. If Subin cannot go outside, she has no choice but to order delivery food for 3 meals. Even though that is what you call a homebody. Oh, I can see it, Seo-eun shouted in excitement. Yeah, I can see it too. The 13th International Ice Cream Festival. At this place, where there's a big banner, it's the site of an ice cream festival that I had no idea about its existence. Every street is full of booths with refrigerators. I couldn't help but wonder how much the electricity bill used for this festival would be combined. Seo-eun is already excited. She is looking around in all directions. And Subin is also looking around because she is amazed. Oh, it's rice ice cream. Seo-eun is running towards somewhere. Hey, wait for me. Subin and I slowly followed. Seo-eun already bought the ice cream and was holding it. White ice cream in a cone. It tastes good. Do you want to have a bite? Seo-eun asked, her eyes sparkling. Rice ice cream. I have only heard of it, but I have never tried. All right, give me some. I took the cone that Seo-eun gave me and took a bite. It's delicious. I thought it would taste like hate ban asterisk, but it tasted similar to vanilla more than I thought. Tien, a Korean brand of instant rice. Oh, it's edible. Subin, have some too. What? Subin's face is turning red as she is flustered. What's wrong with her? It's delicious. Aren't you going to try it? Yeah, dig in. Subin's face gradually turned red as Seo-eun repeated aggressively, and eventually she dropped her head. Okay, give me some please. She stuttered and reached out. Why did she turn into the timid Subin of the early days again? Is it because we are forcing her to eat it? Is the nightmare of the first we met coming to life? Ugh, this is indirect. Am I the only one? Think it's weird. She muttered something, but I couldn't hear her because her voice was so tiny. Then, she closed her eyes and took a bite. Wait, why is she being so serious over eating ice cream? It's good. She took a bite, saying it was delicious with her eyes shining. Right? It's more savory than I thought, so it was worth trying. After taking a bite, the remaining cone went back to Seo-eun's hand, and she finished the rest neatly. She is eating well, so we went around the festival and tasted ice cream for a while. Eating so many of them somehow made me feel like I just spent money like water, but there was no problem because all I have is money. I could see all sorts of ice cream, perhaps because it was a world-class festival that was held around the world. Basic ice cream such as chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and mint chocolate, to brand ice cream such as My Dad is an Alien and Shooting Star. And besides those, there are a lot of ice creams that you cannot see anywhere else. Wasabi flavor, cold noodle flavor, steak flavor, ramen flavor, terrible combination of ice cream flavors. But the steak tasted better than I expected. I guess it somehow tasted like eating grilled meat flavored ice cream. I have no idea what I'm talking about either. And there were also flavors that should not exist in this world, such as desk flavor, booger flavor, and earwax flavor. Why are you selling that for money? Of course, we played rock, paper, scissors and decided that the loser had to buy the booger flavor. Subin, who lost with scissors, suddenly changed her expression after her first bite. Then she just threw the rest away. Don't eat it, just give it to the trash can. Right now, I'm eating mango-flavored ice cream. I don't know why I have to eat mango flavor here. Don't you think so, Sion? When I asked reproachfully, she whispered confidently without being ashamed. What she said after tiptoeing and putting her words in my ears was, "You are the leader of Mango Union, so you should eat mango-flavored ice cream." Sion, honestly, don't you think mango or anything is a bit of a headache now? It's not fun if you eat too much. No, it's fun every time I do it. And no matter how much you deny it, your fan club name is Mango Union. Sion burst into laughter. Now, she finally lives for the fun of teasing me. All right, as long as you are happy. Looking at this and that, I came to the event corner. This place sells collaborative ice cream, such as Frankenstein ice cream, Mickey Mouse flavored ice cream. There's an Egoistic ice cream over there. Huh? Wait, what flavor of ice cream? Now, you can only eat it here. Egoistic ice cream. There was a woman in the booth who started touting. What the hell? This is a violation of superpower rights. Appa. Puffed. You also have ice cream. Ha 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 ha. Sion bursted into laughter. Is it funny to you? Wait, Subin also turned her head and laughed too. The funniest thing is that people are standing in line only for that one. In front of us, there are a lot of people holding ice cream and taking pictures. Is it for their Instagrams? I feel dizzy. At the strong request of Sion and Subin, I eventually lined up and bought my own flavor ice cream. I wonder what it tastes like. The ice cream itself is a common vanilla with a half mask, which is my trademark, made of chocolate. They even made my eyes and mouth with chocolate, which made me feel so strange. The difference is that there is mango inside. Fortunately, it was worth eating. Will the person selling it ever know? That Egoistic came and ate her Egoistic ice cream. A little further down, there was a game booth. Throwing darts at the balloons. If you get a lot, you'll get a prize. But perhaps since it's an ice cream festival, the prize is also ice cream. 10 layers of ice cream? What the? Sion, I will show you. I used to be a master of dart throwing. I will get you a 10-layer of ice cream or something. Daoin, are you trying to trick me with your telekinesis? Stunned by Sion's words, I decided to play the game normally. That is why I don't like quick-witted kids. The booth was designed for 2 people to play at the same time, and there was no one, so I could play it right away. Phew! This heavy but chilly feeling. I was talking nonsense to Sion with a dart, and someone came to play the game next to me. Without thinking, I glanced to the side to see who had come. My brain stopped working. The silky blonde hair. The beauty that is prettier than anyone in this world. It was Stardust, Shin Haru. She came to play the game. Why are you here? Haru here. Here. In front of the ice cream festival venue. Shin Haru got off the bus and met her senior. Oh, Yuni. You already came. I just got here too. Let's go inside. Okay. The 2 of them decided to look around the festival together. Haru looked at her older friend who was chattering with a bright smile. Chai-yun is 1 year older than her, but she is short and bright. She looks more like a younger sister. Chai-yun, do you want to try this? It's rice-flavored ice cream. All right. Seeing her older friend eating ice cream deliciously make her feel good. Honestly, she doesn't like ice cream that much, but hanging out with her close friend after a while makes her feel better. The truth is Shin Haru doesn't have many friends. Ever since she was young, she has been living while building a wall with others because she had to maintain her studying and her hero life. If Chai-yun had not actively approached her, she would have no friends while attending college. Of course, she has friends as a hero. Shadow Walker and North Sea Ice Girl, who are also A-class heroes, are representative. But they don't contact each other. Honestly, because Shadow Walker is only active at night, as he keeps a life pattern of sleeping during the day and waking up at night, it's hard to meet him. And the North Sea Ice Girl is always busy covering the bottom of the Korean peninsula alone. That's why the chat room where the three of them gather is always silent. Stardust herself is also busy with Ego's tick. Holding many thoughts, she walked down the street with her friend. They certainly caught a lot of attention as they walked by. Kim Chae-yun has a cute appearance, but Shin Haru stood out more since she is tall for a woman and has blonde hair. She also looked cold and chic to others, but sometimes the sight of her smiling while talking with her friend made a lot of men's hearts pound. Of course, some of those men were watching while walking with their girlfriends, so these girls unintentionally were the reason for various couples to break up. But they don't seem to know that. Shin Haru and Kim Chae-yun, who have been walking around, slowly finished eating and walked to the venue. Wow, they even have Ego's Tick ice cream over there. Her friend asked her to go there with a bright smile. Even though she came out here to forget about Ego's Tick, Haru's face stiffened as she faced Ego's Tick again. But her friend, who has already joined the Mango Union, does not seem to notice. The two of them stood in line to buy the ice cream. Haru let out a sigh and took a picture of her friend who was eating while smiling happily, and she felt bitter as she looked at her friend. Still, she thought that it was fortunate that her friend had not shown herself swearing at Stardust. Among the Mango Union who support the villain, some of them curse at Stardust. She searched for the comments herself, and eventually, she was shocked as she read them. Time already flew so much as they took pictures and walked around the rest of the festival. It has been a while since she spent time with Chae-yun, so it was a valuable time. Although she still feels disturbed as she thinks about Ego's Tick. Let's play that and call it a day before we go home. Chae-yun pointed to the booth where they were throwing darts at the balloons. They said that if anyone got more than a certain number, then they would get a 10-layer ice cream as the prize. What the hell is 10-layer ice cream? Sure, they walked toward the place. The booth is designed to accommodate two guests at the same time. The other customer already occupied one side. At first, she thought that they were a family who was hanging out. Mom, Dad, and their daughter. Both the mom and dad have black hair, but their daughter's hair is white. Did she dye her hair? She was curious about the silver-haired girl who she saw for the first time. Looking at them closely, the daughter must be in middle school, but her mom and dad look so young. So perhaps they are not a family. What is their relationship then? While she was thinking about it, she felt something suspicious. Since when did she become the type who is curious about people like that? Perhaps because she was amazed by the girl's silver hair. She was the type who only took a quick glance, even if a man with green afro hair walked by. But strangely, this family seems interesting to her. Especially that black-haired guy. She can somehow feel a sense of frustration from him. Well, she probably was just thinking too much. After shaking her head off complicated thoughts, she decided to watch Chae-yun throw darts. They were getting close to the booth before she knew it. Then she called for the staff. Here. Fuck. Here. Yes, ma'am. Give me 10 darts, please. All right. What's going on? Why does this happen to me when I'm just here to normally enjoy the festival? I can feel my hands and feet trembling. My back was already sweating. My eyes suddenly shake nonstop. Looking at the side, Seo-eun and Soo-bin also look stiff. We all know Stardust's real face. In other words, the current situation is alarming. I swallowed my saliva. I have no idea why Stardust is here, but we have to run away immediately. Stardust's abilities are superhuman strength and flying. But her superhuman strength is not just pure strength. To be exact, the power from her body is huge. Still, it's not like she can get stronger anytime she wants to, but she will go beyond a human strength and become a superhuman later on. The development of 5 senses, such as looking further than others and listening better than others. In other words, the association, who has no idea about it yet, named this ability as superhuman strength. In fact, it's right to see Stardust as a superhuman. Not only 5 senses, but also her 6th sense will develop. Hence, her instinct can sense it when something is strange. It's actually a supernatural feeling. Of course, compared with the original works timeline, it's still early. It hasn't been to the point where she can look at me and immediately say, "That brat is Ego's tick." But of course, she can still sense something strange now. The bottom line is, I'm in big trouble. We have to run. But I already got the darts. Wouldn't it look more suspicious if I ran away without playing the darts? Yeah. Oh, you're good at this. Of course. I'm good at this. In the original comic, when she's in her daily life mode, but not in a hero mood, I guess that's what she calls it. Anyway, that's her closest senior friend when she lives as an ordinary citizen. She was also a popular character for her bright and cute personality. Of course, the thing that happened to her in the latter part. Throw the darts. Standing next to her, Chai-yun was throwing the darts like crazy. I mean, I thought Shinharu was throwing them for a second because she threw it so well. "Aren't you going to throw them, sir?" Looking at my blank expression, the employee asked cautiously. "Oh, right. I should hurry up and throw them." While Haru is still focusing on Keihyun's dart throwing, I have to throw them quickly. Oh, the person next to me was so good, so I stared at her without realizing. "I'm going to throw now." Speaking quietly and quickly to the employee, I picked up the darts and started throwing. Sion, look at my dart throwing skills." Yeah. Throw it fast." Sion answered me while trembling. "Hey, act well. How can your voice be shaky like that?" But I'm also trembling, so I guess we're the same. I began to throw the darts without thinking. Well, because I was just throwing without thinking, so I obviously didn't have any good shots. On the other hand, Shinharu's side seems to be done, even though she arrived after us. "Wow, I got everything." "Oh, Chai-yun, how did you do it? Give me the prize." "The prize? Wait, did she get all 10 shots?" The employee told her with a smile that she was the first one to get 10 shots today. He told her to wait for a second, and then brought out an ice cream cone from behind. After he brought it out, he scooped the ice cream out of a container in the refrigerator and started putting it on the cone. Is that the prize? A 10-layer ice cream? 1 scoop on the cone, 2 scoops on the cone, 3 scoops on the cone, 4 scoops on the cone, 5 scoops on the cone, 6 scoops on the cone. What the? How much will he serve? In the end, he scooped the 10th one and put it up. Since the ice cream went over the height of the employee, he had to stretch his hand and pile it up. Finally, the 10-layer ice cream cone. What the hell is this? Even when he holds the cone near his waist, the end of the ice cream still goes over his head. It seems to be at least 1 meter long. I had no choice but to peek at it while throwing the darts. God, what is that? It's so tall as if it's about to fall. The employee is also standing while sticking his hand out as if he was playing some kind of balance game. What is he doing? Oh my, this is harder than I thought, ma'am. Please be careful when you eat it. Okay. Yuni, should I hold it for you? No, I want it myself, so I have to hold it. I can do it. Kim Chai-yun claimed it like that, but barely accepted the cone from the employee. The ice cream tower is already shaking dangerously above her. Well, I think something terrible will happen in a little while. I also finished throwing all the darts. It seemed like I got 4 balloons. Of course, I couldn't get any prizes. Oh, what a shame. We will get going now. I was about to turn around and quickly escape. We have to run away. Suddenly, I can hear Kim Chai-yun screaming next to me. No. When I turned to look, the 10-layer ice cream couldn't grab its center and tilted. Eventually, it fell to the side. I mean, to my side, as I was going to the closer side while passing by her to get out of there. What the hell? Fuck, why is this happening to me? Watching the ice cream falling down on me, I was lost in many thoughts. What the hell did I do wrong? Of course, I have made many mistakes. I did make mistakes. Isn't this almost how the world is thinking of me? What is the probability that you bump into someone who is bent on capturing you while you're going to a festival? And the odds of her friend getting involved with you? This is ridiculous. There must be some kind of maligning forces. In a very short time, in this short time when this dangerous ice cream was about to fall on me, I've already painted my future perfectly. Those ice creams will be all over my body. Of course, that Chai-yun girl, with her personality, will ask me for a phone number or bank account to compensate. Both of my main personal information gets leaked. As time goes by, the information will get to Stardust. Without being able to move, I will be checkmated. And it will be more troublesome if I run away without giving her any information. Isn't it suspicious? To run away without picking a fight after you are all covered with ice cream? Finally, the question is, has Stardust sensed anything about me yet? You may wonder how many people would have seen me in that short period of time, or would they suddenly doubt me? The story is different from the original work that I read. I don't know how much Shin Haru's sixth sense and super senses have developed at the moment. It must have improved to some extent. I'm sure because I have read the original comic 1,000 times. She would obviously look at me while tilting her head, and I'm sure, into my thought, the ice cream tower is about to touch my body. The moment it falls on me, my life can be twisted in a terrible direction. Did you know that when people are on the verge of death, they will try the best to survive? That's exactly what happened to me now. I have to move. If I don't move, I will die. Oh my God. Oh. I rolled over. Egostic's deadly secret front roll. Rolling. Dust gets on the coat and my face. But sometimes men should not be afraid to be broken. For my future, for the happiness of this world. I'm rolling. I'm not ashamed. I'm really not embarrassed. Appa, doing. Seoun and Subin got surprised and ran to me as I suddenly rolled on the ground. Oh, it's all right. It's all right. I stood up, dusting off my clothes. To be honest, there was no point in doing that since I was already covered in dust from head to toe. Still, I dusted it off as a formality. I want to run away now. Oh gosh. Are you okay? I'm sorry. I am pretty clumsy, so... Kim Chae-yun approached me with tears in her eyes. The 10-layer ice cream was already on the ground thanks to my dodge. It looked like a big rainbow worm. The more I looked at it, the more I felt lucky that it did not fall on me. First of all, I didn't need anything, and I had to take the teary Kim Chae-yun off me. Why did she suddenly cry and make a fuss? I'm the one who should be crying. From behind, Shin Haru was also coming as she was surprised. No, don't come near me. Don't remember my face. Usually I would tell those crybabies that crying wouldn't solve anything in the world, but it's not good timing. I shouldn't stay here for too long. I'm not the crazy psycho egoistic now, but the sweet Dian. It's fine. Everyone makes mistakes. I made a big fuss. Haha, I could have just avoided it slightly. But still, it's all right. It's all right. The woman's tears rolled down her cheeks. Calm down, please. I'm the only one who is going to screw up if I keep taking time here. Shin Haru is already looking at me. Now, Seoun, shall we go now? I rushed out from my spot. By the way, Seoun was glaring at the crying Kim Chae-yun. She doesn't seem to like the girl. Subin did not look very happy either. What's wrong with these kids? This is not the time. We're going to die. When I was about to ask them to go again. Thump. There was a roar. Kaiowia. People were screaming. Thump dash. Thump dash. The sound of the ground shaking. Suddenly, the peaceful festival became a battlefield with people screaming. What is it? What is it? Ha 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 ha. A loud sound that can be heard in any idol concerts. A voice that shakes the brain inside the skull that can only be felt when the volume of the Bluetooth earphone is turned to maximum by mistake. Stardust, Stardust, come on out. Boom dash. Another crackling sound. Everyone started to scream and run in all directions. I took care of Seoun and Subin right away. Both of them are in shock. I have to take responsibility and protect them because they are weak. Come fight me. I grab their hands. I can teleport if I have to, so once I have physical contact with them, I feel somewhat relieved. Both Seoun and Subin held my hand tightly. Seoun especially is trembling. She must have been shocked because she has never been in this situation before. Or it could be a trauma from her past. Either way is not good. At least, Subin looked a little calmer. I'm sure she has had more experience since she even caused terrorism herself. She was looking everywhere with her stiff and calm expression. Looking at this side of her, I have a reason to suspect that she was pretending to be timid. I looked at Shin Haru. She was quickly dragging her senior friend Kim Chae-yun and running to the opposite side of where the sound came from. She must be thinking of taking her friend to a safe place first. It's Stardust mindset to put people first. Oh, Appa, let's run away, too. Tee that warp. Hurry up. Okay, I will do it. But hold on. Let me just see who it is first. Seoun is holding my hand tightly. I'm so sorry. Just wait a little bit. I have been binge-watching the original comic several times. I'm sure that I even remember the detailed timeline. And obviously, there were no villains committing massive terrorism at this period. Usually, villains during this period are in Zodiac and Rhino, but I already eliminated them. I crept to the epicenter of a noise. I feel like a salmon swimming upstream while other people are trying to run away. Seo-eun was shaking so hard that I had to hug and tell her to relax. Honestly, it would be better if I teleport to bring them home and come back, but then it would be difficult for me. I don't even know what to do now, but it's not the time for me to relax. I'm sorry, Seo-eun. Just hang in there. After turning around the corner and sticking out only my head to see what happened, I saw a green monster who was breaking the booths. A monster who looked as big as a house. He looked like an enormous man, but his body was green and his face looked like a crocodile, and he was swinging his tail. I know the guy fully well. A-class villain, Crocodile Man. But it's not his time to appear yet. Why did he come out all of a sudden? Stardust, come out. The guy was still generating the noise shock wave that can make your eardrums burst. Seo-eun and Subin have already covered their ears with their hands. I think my ears are going to bleed, but my hands are on their waist now, so I cannot cover my ears. Ugh. Anyway, I think I'll have to deal with him. I started to spin my head aggressively. My blood type is A, and I saw somewhere that blood type A's brain is fast in a crisis. Is it or not? What matters is the expected scenario. He's calling out Stardust. As much as he usually has a grudge against Stardust, it's not awkward for him to call her out. But the important thing is that I don't think that Stardust is in a good state to come out. It's not easy to work as a hero. Once their faces are revealed, even their in-laws and cousins can be targeted by villains, so certainly they have to wear the recognition device on their faces. Especially in Stardust's case, if she just wears clothes and flies in the sky, her body will get hurt due to friction, so she has to wear a specially made latex suit. But the important thing is that Stardust is here with nothing. She will have to go back to the association and pack her equipment, but it's very far from here. And since that brat is making a mess out there, casualties will be increased. All right, if it's Shin Haru, the Stardust that I know, in this situation, she will just jump in and reveal her face. No, Do-in, I murmured without myself knowing. I should not leave things like that. How unhappy she ended up when she revealed her face because of a similar situation in the latter part of the comic. I have done many things so far to make Shin Haru happy, but now it will be screwed up like this? I will not let it happen even if my eyes are covered. Eawea. Do-in. Plop. I warped everyone to the basement. It's not that far, but it was hard to bring 2 more people with me. Huff, huff. Oh, we're here. Phew. Huh. What are you doing, Do-in? What are you doing? As soon as we arrived, I took off my coat and put on my robe. And I packed my mask that covers half of my face, the symbol of Ego's tick. Seo-eun, I'm going to work. I even packed the black special ego bag that is full of weapons and prepared to warp for a middle long distance again. Now that I rested well for a whole week, let's play another round. Breaking news. A strange riot happened in the middle of an ice cream festival. Stardust hasn't arrived yet. Where is she? A large-scale terrorist attack after a while. I'm scared. Wow. Fuck. How can a person be that huge? Breaking news. Ego's Tick turned on the broadcast. Hey, Ego's Tick is streaming on YouTube. Mango Stick live on. Ha 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 ha. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Wait, why is he streaming all of a sudden? Ha 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 ha. Stardust, if you don't come out, I will destroy everything. In the middle of the city, where the festival was taking place. But it was no longer a festival, but turning into a funeral instead. Eawea. People were screaming from all sides. Citizens who had already been attacked unexpectedly were lying everywhere. Boom dash. Boom dash. The buildings, the booths, the streetlights. The monster was approaching and smashing everything. This guy with his whole body covered in green scales is Crocodile Man. He appeared in the middle issues of the original comic. I remembered this scientist guy was doing some experiments with an alligator, then an accident happened and turned him into this. The important thing is he is not supposed to appear here. It's not the right time for him to appear yet. I haven't put him into my priority list. Yet why did he pop out all of a sudden? Stardust, why are you not coming out? Or are you busy sucking and kissing that ego's tick? Is that the reason why he popped out? It's a sight to see him suddenly smashing around while talking. Sniff, sniff. People fell down and groaned softly. Most people already ran away, but many people were caught up in the accident, so I can hear a lot of groaning. This guy usually lives like every normal person, but he is a little more vicious as he turns into a crocodile monster whenever he wants. Ugh, if it was not because of his transformation form, I would just teleport to attack him, then shoot a bullet, and it would be done. I shouldn't slack off and beat him instead. Anyway, it already happened. He came out of nowhere and screaming, "Stardust, come out." Crocodile Man. He is probably the first one that actually looks like a villain that people have ever seen. He's been hiding all this time. The association later graded him as an A-class villain. Honestly, it seems like it would be normal even if they graded him as Class S because it doesn't really matter to them. In the early stage, the association grades the villains very generously more than the heroes, so I don't understand why they graded him as Class A. Anyway, this guy, he was a tough deal in the original comic. Basically, his skin is covered with thick scales, so physical attack barely works. He's a monster whose body can withstand guns, bombs, and more. In fact, he's a tough enemy to deal with for Stardust, who only has superhuman strength as her ability. He can withstand no matter how hard Stardust hits him. Particularly, the big problem is that he is obsessed with Stardust. He's not the first person in the series to make a fool of himself. He's the one who calls out Stardust. Honestly, when I called out Stardust, I actually referred to this guy from the original comic. I mean, the righteous Stardust somehow ran to me when I called her out. Anyway, it's an emergency now. Somehow, this bulky, green-haired tanning guy is trying to steal Stardust's attention from me. No, do you think I'm going to lose my Stardust to a green brat? And timing-wise, he launched a terrorist attack in a situation where it was very difficult for Stardust to step up. It will be delayed if she stops by the association to get the direct ignition device because she was here. Everyone will die before that. What will happen to those people who are falling down and bleeding? Yes, it's 100%. A 100% chance that Stardust will step out without the direct ignition device. That cannot happen. During the episode revealed from the last parts of the original comic, the world became hell to Shin Haru. All kinds of malicious comments, terrorist attacks, and sniping poured down on Shin Haru like a waterfall. The accusations happened continuously. That's right. I swore that I would make Stardust happy, so I cannot let her fail in front of my eyes like this. So I have no choice but to step up. What if they call me an anti-hero again? So that's why I have to make an excuse. I mean, an explanation. And how will I do that? I'm going to turn on the broadcast. Gosh, honestly, I don't know if I'm a villain or a YouTuber anymore. Stardust, are you still not coming out? Crocodile Man shouted while knocking everything down. The man clenched his fist angrily. His fist is almost as big as a human's head. Well then, there is no choice. I will kill all the people here. With his fists clenched, he strides to the place where people were gathered. They collapsed onto others. When the collapsed people saw that Crocodile Man was walking toward them, they turned their bodies around and tried to escape, but they were already in tatters and couldn't move. When the shadows of that Crocodile Man covered them, they were terrified. "Don't kill me. Don't blame me. Blame Stardust." And he raised his fist in the air, ready to punch. People shut their eyes tightly as they felt the hunch of death. In this quiet place, suddenly music was playing. Crocodile Man tilted his head. Suddenly, cheerful rock music was played, even though it didn't suit the current atmosphere of the place at all. When a noisy electric guitar solo was heard somewhere, Crocodile Man turned his head to the direction. It was me standing on the rooftop of a nearby building. I stood on the railing of the rooftop, looking down at Crocodile Man. Then on my right, a Bluetooth speaker in maximum volume was spouting loud music. I'm standing on the rooftop, dancing to the beat of the music. Not too much, just slightly shaking along with the beat. Sometimes I also clap to the beat. The first appearance is supposed to be loud, you know? And on my left side, a camera, which I was holding with my telekinesis, was streaming me on YouTube. Shall I do the greetings now? Now, let's get back to my concept. Hello, everyone. We met again after the last time. The real villain of this era, Korea's public enemy, Ego's Tick. Nice to meet you. Mango Stick. 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 He's here. My porn asterisk. Asterisk TN. It seems like this person means watching Ego's Tick video is addictive like watching pornography. God, is that Mango Stick? God, is that Mango Stick? God, is that Mango Stick? Fuck, he calls himself the real villain, the public enemy. Ha ha. Yako's asterisk enemy. Ha ha ha. Asterisk TN, a Korean cartoon character. Did he just make a mistake? Shouldn't he call himself the real hero of this era? Wasn't he the public hero? I really don't know. Ha ha ha. It's already funny from the beginning. Why is he dancing? Ha ha ha. Wait, so where's he now? Isn't this the place where that green monster is terrorizing? I think it is. I mean, why is he there again? Ha 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 ha. Still, I was hanging a sack on my back that I brought with me from the underground base. I rummaged something from there and took out a wireless microphone. Let's see. If I pair with that speaker? Okay, done. Before I knew it, the song stopped and the mic was connected to the speaker. I tapped the mic. Tap dash. Thump. I tapped the mic, and then the heavy sound came out from the speaker. Yeah, it seems to be connected. Mic check. Mic check. As I spoke to the microphone, the speaker next to me sounded very loud. Oh fuck, I'm going to be deaf. Perhaps because Sion's specially modified the speaker in the past. So despite its small size, the sound is as loud as a big speaker at the concert hall. Yeah, he can hear me well from under, right? I put the mic on my lips and talked to that crocodile guy down there. Should I speak formally like usual? Nah, let's just drop the honorifics. Listen up, you crocodile brat. You are surrounded. Surrender right now. Crocodile Man, who was about to start slaughtering the citizens down there, turned to look up at me, and then he walked toward my direction. He asked me in a loud voice. How can he be that loud? He doesn't even use a speaker like me. Who are you? I'm Ego's Tick, the one you were slandering a few minutes ago, you punk. What did you say? Crocodile squeezed his eyes as he looked up at me. After staring at my face for a while and realizing who I was, the guy raged and started shouting. You, aren't you that Ego's Tick? Yes, I'm Ego's Tick. You punk. I will kill you. Then suddenly, he started running to me. I was surprised by the sudden rush. What did I do? By the way, I'm on top of a building and he wants to come to me? Will he take the elevator? Before I could think of it, he hit his hand on the outer wall of the building and began to climb up. He is totally crazy. Well, what are you doing? The guy screamed while climbing up the building. I just stood still and looked around. He does climb up faster than the elevator. The building doesn't have many floors, so he comes up quickly. The man crawled himself up. When he landed on the rooftop with a thud sound, the whole building was shaking. You punk. I'm going to kill you. Wait, let's talk first. As soon as he came up to the rooftop, I easily avoided him by teleportation while he rushed to me. I just have to teleport behind him. I don't even have to go far. The speakers were just on the ground, and I only moved with the microphone on my hand and also the stuff on my back. The guy was confused as he could not hit me because I kept disappearing. He must have learned about my teleportation skill through the news, right? What is he doing? He turned his head and looked behind his back to look for me. So for a while, I kept teleporting to the spot where he couldn't see me. The guy was so shocked. Wait, was he always this stupid? Eventually, I couldn't hold it and slapped the back of his head. Yes, slapped with my hand. What are you doing, you punk? He seems to be a stupid guy. Slap. The crocodile groaned as I slapped the back of his head. Reaching the back, the guy tried to swing his hand at me. Of course, I have already teleported and gone far away. You punk. Don't run away like a mosquito. Fight me like a man. Hey, it would be unfair to fight a big guy like you with my bare body, right? It's even less manly. You. He didn't even listen to me in the first place. Is he being so hostile to me just because I got on the wrong side of him? Aren't villains supposed to have internal intimacy with each other? I know that we have never met before, but being the enemy of heroes is our common ground. We should be working together. That's what I wanted. Why is he rushing at me all of a sudden? Honestly, I planned to stab him as soon as he came onto me, So if he already realized that, then isn't he ignorant? However, seeing the guy running like a bull toward me again, I was sure that he was ignorant. I mean, he doesn't even have the ability to learn? I teleported out right before this guy attacked me again. Sigh. Honestly, I'm starting to reach my limit now. I teleported back and forth from here to our house, so it was exhausting. I'm already tired, and I'm getting more tired little by little as I move quickly here. I even have to keep a sack behind my back like Santa Claus and hold the microphone on the other hand. However, the best guy does not show his tiredness. I grinned as if nothing had happened. Are you going to be like this all day, my friend? You despicable thing. Ha. He called him a despicable thing. Ha. That crocodile guy seems to be mad. Ha. Of course, he would be mad. Egos tick keep going back and forth like a mosquito. Ha. Is that mango stick a mosquito? 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 Mosky stick asterisk ha. Asterisk tien. Mosquito plus mango stick. But he is seriously so strong. The cement floor is hollowed out when he rushes. He is strong, but still lacking www. The more I look at that crocodile guy, I find him cute. Pull yourself together. Those brats caused terrorism and people died. Covering up a villain is crossing the villain. Are these kids mad? They covered that brat and called him cute. They're so hostile, they're whitewashing Egos tick. www. Gosh, Egos tick caused 0 casualties. Ha. Egos tick is a villain. Mango Stick is the official A-class hero of the association. It's even recorded in the Subak Do. This brat. Not Subak Do, it has to be Mango Do. But seriously, why did Egos tick go there? The chat window is still chaotic. One of them caught my eye. Why did Egos tick come? Yeah, I have to explain this well. If I make a wrong statement, people will make a fuss and call me a hero again. I yelled at Crocodile Man, who was getting ready to run at me again. Wait, hear me out. I grabbed the microphone again and shouted out loud. Then the crocodile guy stopped. He blew his nose out and shouted at me. All right, speak. Yeah, answer me first. Why did you attack me all of a sudden? He answered my question with a snivel. Isn't that obvious? I targeted Stardust. But you seem to be interested in Stardust too. Then you're also my enemy. What is this weird logic? The reaction from a chat window was also enthusiastic. That brat. www. That stupid villain knows that Mango likes Stardust. www. Wait, how does he know that Egos tick likes Stardust, but doesn't know about his teleportation ability? Ha. 2 men fighting over a woman. Isn't Egos tick actually running here on behalf of Stardust? He called for Stardust, but Egos tick came. They called it marital harmony, though. Are they really? What is going on between the two of them? It seems like they're filming We Got Married, * Villains Edition. Ha. * TN. An old reality show in Korea where they paired up celebrities to show what life would be like if they were married. Seriously, ha. Not We Got Married, this is a real deal. Ha. Well, why'd he come? I bawled back into the microphone. My voice from the speakers seems to ruin my ears. But perhaps it's just me, right? For such a ridiculous reason. You attacked me? No, in the first place. Weren't you the one to tell me to surrender first? Did I say so? I don't remember. Just make an excuse first. When did I do that? The crocodile guy's eyes were shaking as I shouted out my denial. Suddenly, he spit out a stream of words. What did you say? You said to me, listen up, you crocodile. You are surrounded. Surrender now. Didn't you say that? What is wrong with him? His brain works well at times like this. As I blabbed my mouth at his sudden attack, the chat window started to go wild again. Ha. The other guy hit the nail on the head. He can't find the words to say. Ha. That fucking crocodile. Why is he talking so well all of a sudden? Ha. It was aired live. Why is he insisting? Ha. The shameless mango stick is also cute. I shouldn't lose my face at times like this. I can only succeed if I have the nerve to be thick-faced. There was a saying in a self-improvement book which I read when I was young. Life is like an iron plate fried rice. The rice that was fried on an iron plate is delicious. Honestly, anything will be delicious when you cook it on the iron plate. The same goes for life. If you live with a thick face asterisk, everything will work well. Asterisk TN literally means an iron plate, cooking pan, but Korean people also use it as the meaning of thick face. Recalling the proverb, I put on my thick face and spoke up. So what? I didn't ask. You obviously just asked me when you did that. Enough. Weren't you the one who was calling for Stardust and suddenly asked if she was sucking and kissing me when she didn't come out? Why are you whitewashing yourself? Apologize. Apologize since you insulted me. If you apologize, I will forgive you. The guy finally lost his mind at my words. You crazy brat. I'm a fool for listening to you. Go to hell. As he ended his sentence, he suddenly had something inside his mouth. Isn't that an attack? As soon as something started shooting out from his mouth, I teleported right to the other side. Crazy brat. Since I was moving in a hurry, I dropped the microphone by mistake after I teleported. Ugh. I only used it to sing karaoke a few times at home. I guess I already got smashed. As I teleported by a close call, a stream of water was being shot in the direction where I was standing before. That's Crocodile Man's lethal move, extreme water spouting. Well, that's what he named it himself in the original comic. But in reality, it's nothing more than a water cannon. But if you get hit, you will die immediately. I don't understand what being a crocodile and shooting water have to do with each other, but in the original comic, Stardust was hit by that unexpectedly and almost died. Even though I know it, I can barely avoid it. You rat. I can't believe that you avoided it. The guy wiped the water off his mouth and made fun of me. Does he dare to use an instantaneous attack on me? It was really a surprise attack, so if I couldn't avoid it, I would have died. Anger is rising inside me as I think about it. Does he even know about safety? How dare he use this? I can't let him get away with this. I was only going to scare him and send him back, then eliminate him on another day. But let's just do it today. Today's dinner is crocodile meat. I untied the sack that I had been carrying for a while, and I started powering up my telekinesis. I have been charging my telekinesis for a while. It must be enough now. I raised my body with my telekinesis, and at the same time, things that I had put in my sack began to float in the air one by one. They're just a bunch of guns. Floating around me in the air, countless guns that I had packed began to rise. Hey, you crocodile. I started loading the guns with my telekinesis. Okay, they are ready. The crocodile's eyes began to shake as he saw countless guns floating in the air aiming at him. Right before firing a bunch of guns at the same time, I said something to him. See you in hell, you son of a bitch. And I fired the guns. Bang, 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 bang. A bunch of guns began firing at the same time, and a tremendous roar began sweeping the rooftop. Argy! Crocodile Man, with his head down and arms crossed, covered himself and began to get shot. Perhaps because he was shot by too many guns, the place where he stood began to be filled with dust, and it was hard to see him. Landed back on the ground, I casually said a word. Are you done? Oh, if you say that, he is done. 100% he's not dead yet. But how can he be alive after being shot that much? No way. No way. He wouldn't have survived. Breaking news, another one was caught. The dust has already cleared up. Where the dust is cleared up, there's only Crocodile Man standing firmly without a single wound. Ah! Did you think that you could hurt me with such a poor physical attack? Laughing out loud, the guy looked forward again. An empty rooftop. Suddenly, a voice is heard from above. I told you that I would see you in hell, baby crocodile. Teleporting over his head, I crashed and threw a glass bottle straight to his head. Crash! The glass bottle broke into pieces when it hit his head. An unidentified green mist came out from the glass bottle. That man sniffed, wondering what it was. Then he suddenly began to scream in pain. Wargag. You resisted physical attack. Then I just need to make a special attack. Taste the poison gas, you brat.